average finish on Bermuda, so it looks like they might have made a brand new home. Of course, La Bahia was a very dominant team in Kalahari, so it looks like with Bissar returning, they are trying to take a new spot to put their shiny throne from season 1. Let's check out this clip of one of their huge clutch ups from day number 2.
But while they were pushing into Bizarre, they're also going to be getting backstabbed right here.
Yeah, Virus Gaming, long range now. There we go, DN Esports is down. It's Virus Gaming who really did this one. Bizarre Esports, only one player left. Virus Gaming, one down.
It's a
push.
push.
1v1 at this point. The bush comes out. Oh! And there it is.
What a play there from the 4th at Pisar Esports. Now moving on to things that are really heating up in second place, and no, that will not be the last time I make that joke. Fuego also returning with a big week 1 performance, sitting in second place, but actually your kill leaders with 94 kills total, which is absolutely insane. There are 4 members of that team that are in the 20 kill club, which is just ridiculous. So they're not winning every game, but they do have a respectable 3 booyahs to match beside Esports. They just have a couple more kills to their name and a couple of slightly lower finishers on top of that. So Fuego definitely heating up a lot, and they are a very scary team. They're playing a style that is very unique to Fuego that they have really refined across season 1 and now the start of season 2. They like to pick teams off of the edge of zone, and they know how to pick their spots very intelligently. So watch out for Fuego, because they're going to stay hot at this rate, and there must be some team that has to hunt them down, because they're going to be really hard to beat in this tournament, and they're definitely vying for that top spot. Now, a team that kind of surprised me to see so far up here, but is completely dominating in terms of positioning, and that's Club 9D. Club 9D right now sitting in 3rd place with 156 points. But that really isn't the highlight of their chart, because the real numerical highlight of Club 9D isn't in their name. It's actually in the booyahs that they've picked up. They picked up 5 booyahs on their first weekend. That's 12 games. That is almost a 50% win rate across the first week of the Free Fire Pro Series. That is ridiculous numbers. I don't know what they're feeding them over there in that club. Whatever Club 90 is doing, though, they are doing it right. And actually having a 100% win rate on Kalahari is ridiculous. We didn't even see that from our Season 1 champions during Season 1. 100% win rate on Kalahari, so it looks like Bissar moved out and Club 9D moved right in. Let's check out a couple of their booyahs, because they won back-to-back games on Kalahari across week number 1.
Moving in. Now we're on the final phase of the game. High ground still in the favor of Club 9D, and that's going to be massive for them when the zone starts moving. It's going to be Virus Gaming that is really just held down on. But fired upon. Tankers now. He's not getting out of there alive. No, Virus Gaming out. 3rd place. It's going to be lovely for them, but Tankers is being shot down upon now. The zone moves outside of that high ground, so it's going to be difficult to get down from there, but Tankers is eliminated. Club 9D, they will take their first booyah of the day. They have available. They only have one house to work with here. Oh, and Steve Gray moves in, takes 1 kill onto Zutu. 1 down by the play zone here. Up top couldn't move in quick enough because of this new zone. But up top, finding more. Jordan gets 1 kill. They get another. But Tankers, they're firing back. Only 1 player left alive, but gets more. No, Tankers are going to be taken down second again by Club 9D, who take their 2nd booyah of the day. Their 2nd on Kalahari, their 5th of the group stage.
Absolutely crazy from Club 9D. Now that we've wrapped up our discussion of the top 3 teams, let's roll into some discussion about the teams that I'm going to be watching out for in week 2. Week 2 will kind of settle things, because right now our leaderboard is a little discombobulated, with some squads having only played 1 game day and others having played 2. But at the end of week 2, we'll have a better look at what the standings are going to look like and what teams might expect from the other squads as we progress through Season 2. So my teams to watch for week number 2 are going to be Atomic and Osaka in terms of the top teams. Those are the teams that I think are definitely vying for those top 3 and top 5 spots. Even with 1 game day alone under their belt, they're actually just outside of the top 8, which means that they are, even with 1 game down, just outside of what would currently be qualifying them for the grand finals directly, which is ridiculous. And I think they are definitely capable of taking that top spot if they have big enough games in week 2. Now, in terms of the squad that I think might mix things up, they're definitely not near the top of the leaderboard and didn't have the craziest week one. That's actually going to be Rambox Gaming for me. I'm going to be watching out for Rambox because I think they have an interesting playstyle that might be able to mix things up near the top of the standings. And overall, their average finish isn't that bad across all the maps. They're just not finding as many kills as some of these other squads. So if Rambox can clean up their game plan a little bit and continue to find some slightly higher finishes than 6th and 5th places, as well as picking up a couple more kills, I think they could definitely be shaking up the standings and making some of the top teams tremble in their boots. But that's going to be it from me. Definitely make sure you check out the games. If you missed last week and you want to check out the action, go ahead and watch the VODs on YouTube, and make sure you join us for week 2 because this is just going to heat up more and more. It is a blast in the chat. Definitely go in and talk some smack and cheer on your favorite teams. We got a lot of influencers and a lot of players that are not playing on specific game days just coming through and having a chat, so definitely join us. It's a good time. Make sure you're there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for week 2, and of course we've got week 3 and 4 after that, so the action doesn't stop anytime soon. My name is Melocrit. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys out of the dropship. Peace.
Hi survivors, welcome to Season 2 of the Free Fire Pro Series. We're back to bring you more action, more talent, and even more booyahs for the best teams in North America. On top of a whopping $50,000 prize pool and the bragging rights of being crowned the FFPS Grand Champion, this season the winners will also earn the first ever North American invite to the Free Fire World Series. But before they get there, teams will have to fight their way through a grueling 2-month tournament, including an open qualifier, group stage, last chance qualifier, and grand finals. The action started earlier this month with the open qualifier, where 192 teams from all across North America joined the FFPS for the first stage of the tournament. Each qualifier round featured 6 games, where teams earned points based on their in-game performance, including their placement and their kills in the 12-team lobbies. Only teams in the top half of their lobby moved through each of the qualifying rounds, making their way through the round of 192, the round of 96, and the round of 48. The bottom 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals joined the top 30 from the round of 48 and the last open qualifier round, the round of 36. The 18 teams left standing from the final round earned their spots in the group stage. For the group stage, the top teams from the open qualifier will be joined by even more invited teams from Season 1. The top 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals will qualify straight into a 24-team group stage. alongside the open qualifier teams from Season 2. Teams will be split up into groups of 6, and these groups will face off in a double round-robin format where each group will battle each other in a 12-team lobby twice. This stage will take place across 4 weeks, with 3 game days per week. In the end, the top 8 teams will punch their tickets straight to the finals. The 9th through 20th place teams will earn one last shot in the last chance qualifier, and the bottom 4 teams will be eliminated from the tournament. The last chance qualifier will be a 2-day gauntlet where teams that fail to qualify from the group stage will get their last chance to earn a place in the finals and fight for the title of FFPS Grand Champion. 12 games will give the top 4 teams a shot in the finals, while the remaining teams will be eliminated. The Grand Finals will pit the top 12 teams in North America against each other in a 3-day event. 6 games per day for a total of 18 games will be played for teams to claim their piece of the $50,000 prize pool and for a grand champion to be crowned. Which squad will reign supreme and get their chance to represent North America in the World Series? Tune in to find out.
Hello, one and all, and welcome back to week 2 of the Free Fire Pro Series. It's the last day of the week. It's a Sunday. We're going to be wrapping things up in a nice little tight package for you with the last games of the first half of the group stage here. It's the end of week 2, and therefore with our 4-week run time, we're going to be evening up these scores, getting everybody the same amount of games played, and then we'll be able to see a nice overview of how everybody comes up against each group. Obviously, over this last 2 weeks, everybody's been playing against different groups over the whole time. Now, we're going to get a nice idea of how everybody stacks up against each other for the first time. Here are the groups for you once again, but before we get into every explanation we can, let me just introduce ourselves. Sorry, my name is Twiggy, and I'm joined today, once again, by Moustache Dave. How you doing, buddy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Groups A versus Groups D. Today's an exciting day. I know we got Club 9D showing back up. We got IT Official showing back up. And even Bizarre Esports showing back up. So a pretty stacked group. And I believe it was on Friday when I was here with Godspeed, we got to see Group D, and we got to see what they were made out of. And Team USA Esports, they really showed up, popped off, and they were just consistent all night long. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Group D, how some of these teams who really showed us some good games on Friday night, how they can compete against what some would say is the toughest group in the entire series.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of our groups today have played 2 match days against each of the different teams. And I mean, the fact that Bizarre Esports, Club 9D, USC Esports are so high up on that list against groups B and C, who have both played 3 days worth, is absolutely incredible. Bizarre Esports up on 6th with 1 day less played than everybody else on the group. Obviously, Fuego very high above them. They would need to get 92 points to catch up back to them, which is, I mean, the way they've been playing, I wouldn't say that's completely out of the running, but I mean, it's just amazing to see the kind of depth of skill that each of these teams are showing. And yeah, you mentioned USA Esports, who on their first day of play against Group C, they had, kind of not a great day. It was 44 points for their first week, and then suddenly, 2 days ago, absolutely just steamrolled the whole group, 93 points for them, and they're right back in the runnings.
Yes, sir, doing what they need to do. And when we're looking at USA, I think a really strong factor for this one team was their ability to recognize when they have the upper hand in team fights. And when they didn't have the upper hand, they immediately pulled off that fight, wrapped all the way around the edge, and just full-on avoided everything. And that strategy allowed them to get consistent placement points all night long. So I really did appreciate kind of watching that from USA Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see how well it has improved all of this. Their average placement up to 4.9. Average kills 5. Obviously not incredibly high compared to some of the teams we've seen, but it's still impressive that they've managed to get themselves so many points on that second day, especially after what was, a slow start to the week, a slow start to their whole performance in general. They're going to be closing it out today, obviously, against a group, that there's some teams that they haven't played up against yet. I mean, Bizarre Esports, Club 9D, they're going to be some tough teams to beat, obviously. You look at each group and you're like, this one's a really strong group, this one's a really weak group. But Group A is so varied in their skill levels, and I mean it really shows when you look at Bizarre Esports, who have absolutely just every day they've come on, absolutely put the work up to 11, as it were.
Yeah, and then after today, kind of another exciting thing. After today, I believe we're officially at the halfway mark of the group stages, and everybody will have the exact number of games played, just right in the middle, to really get a good understanding on where they sit here so far in the group stages of North America. And, well, that means we're going to have one more half, and after that one half, top 8 go to grand finals. Like, that's the goal here. And then the teams that don't make that top 8, they get put into another chance to qualify. But I think the goal is just be consistent, stay up there within that top 8, and no sweat. No sweat, no pressure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're in that top 2 of your group, that top 3 of your group probably, you're looking at being able to push for that top 8 position, get straight into the grand finals. That way you don't have to bother with all of the hassle of the LCQs and having to make your way through that one. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of teams in a very quick span of time. You have to perform really well. Obviously, the main goal, just don't come bottom 4. That's your safe zone. If you get out of the bottom 4, you're not going to get kicked out entirely. You still have a second chance.
Sir, yes, sir. And hey, I think the players loaded up in the plane, getting ready to kick off game number 1 here of the night. We will have 6 matches all together. So if you are just tuning in, you tuned into the right stream at the right time. Papa Twiggy, take us in.
Here we go. Our first game in Bermuda once again. We've got our blue zone on bullseye here, but we know roughly where our teams like to land at this point. Actually, that's a nice way of what we've seen over the past few days. We're going to be able to see probably Club 9D going straight towards Sentosa. There they are. Look at that one. Bizarre Esports are probably going to go straight towards Hangar. We've got some brilliant data on these teams now, and that's the lovely part about this, is we know kind of what to expect from everyone here.
Yeah, pretty solid playing path, all things considered. You know, going right down the middle. Everybody has a nice opportunity to drop where they want to drop. Now, one team that I am going to be rooting for here today, besides Club 9D, for obvious reasons, I think it has to be Big Drip. Big Drip, they are pretty low on the overall leaderboard. Last place. So, yeah, they're as low as it gets. And I think, to add to our points, how after today we're officially halfway done with the group stages, I think today for Big Drip is crucial, right? They really need to perform here today to set them up for victory, I guess you can say, in the later half of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see the teams drop all the way in now, obviously. Bizarre Esports, as we said, coming towards Hangar. We also expect Zundel Esports to be here as well, and you can see they're engaging at this point. Everybody else trying to get some shots off, but took a little long to press that trigger. Everybody got involved in that one. Going to force him back into the Hangar. At least a lot of cover to work with to start off with. Now Zeus is hiding behind here. It doesn't look like Zundel have quite the loadouts that they'd want, but still able to take the fight back to them.
Out here sniping with the M8 to beat. Oh, getting caught though. Getting caught though. Man, unfortunate. Zundel, I believe over here they're at one of the crypts for the Assassin's Creed too. So if they found that key, they can go in there and get some really sick loot. And looks like they're gonna be trying to defend this crypt for the time being, as it is gonna be right there on the edge.
Yeah, I think now probably searching for the key, or at the very least just trying to take some space here. They've got this whole kind of southwest side of the map to themselves. They can run around, look for that key. Obviously, quite rare drop for some quite rare loot, so definitely going to take them a while if they want to try and find that one. But they've got a lot of space to work with, probably a lot of loot that they can try and grab here.
Yeah, not only that, if they can go all the way to the top, solid sightlines. Solid sightlines on PSE. Oh. Okay, Osaka coming in with the first blood here. So Osaka on Friday, this was a team that, at least I noticed, always kind of ran 3-1. So they always had 3 of their squad mates grouped up playing together. And then they always had one on the off-skirts trying to be that flank player. It was working, but every time that one solo on that flank got called out, there's no helping them. Right, so I'm really curious to see if they're going to continue with that strategy here today, like they did on Friday, or if they're kind of just going to come into this map with a new game plan.
Well, luckily, they've already found themselves in a nice position and got themselves their first kill. First blood of the game against OG Wipe Gang. Feverful now down. Just caught out in the open. And you can see OG Wipe Gang now taking a quick rotation to try and just make all that they have kind of work now. You know, 3 players left. You got to start playing very carefully. They've got Osaka to one side, and I don't know what else to the other side. So moving in quickly towards a safer area. Probably quite nice for them, but you can see USA Esports have also just jumped straight into the middle of the zone.
Yeah. Pretty quiet early game, all things considered. Yeah, we had a couple kills here and there, but not what I expected. I expected as the tournament progressed that more teams would play a lot more aggressive here off the rip, out the drop, at least with a 3-1 split. And the reason being is because of the revival system that we are using here in the group stages. It really opens up the potential to go for these early game aggressive plays. But we're looking at groups A versus groups D here tonight, at least in game number 1. Doesn't seem to be the case.
Yep. OG Wipe Gang will get their Feverful member back up. So they're back to a 4 now. Everybody a full team once again. And as you said, obviously going for that early rotation that they could head towards a revive station and get their member back up. So again, very slow. Yeah, nobody down whatsoever anymore. Got full 48 members in this lobby. Moving in towards our first ring. Let's see how long that lasts. We can see, obviously, Club 9D doing their late rotate of a play style that they do like to do is sit towards the edge of zone, but they don't struggle for kills. The interesting part about that, they never really struggle for kills. So even though, you know, playing quite late, playing outside of the zone, will definitely get involved towards the end of the game at the very least. We can see here USA Esports are aggressing onto OG Wipe Gang now.
Yeah, it looks like at least one of the players with that M60, that light machine gun, kind of up here on the high ground, just letting that thing rip. Played it nice and slow. Nice and slow. Last time I had the opportunity to watch Club 9D, if I'm not mistaken, they had like 3 booyahs in that day. So they had 3 booyahs in one day of 6 games. I'm really curious to see if they kind of continue on with that and show up once again, as, like you said, they're going to be playing this one nice and slow. They're out there taking a little bit of damage, but it doesn't hurt too much. And talking about damage hurting a little bit, PSE out here takes some shots once again with Zundel.
Yeah, seem to be just kind of kept aback by Zundel here. You know, sorry, Esports, a team that we expect to do incredibly well. They're kind of just being kneecapped a little bit by Zundel here and held back. Oh, but OG Wipe Gang, they're aggressing onto Brothers YT here. And it looks like they're going to stop them from being able to get away from this position. Trying to get away with a jump pad, but they're not going to get too far from there. Feverful taken down. In comes Rambox here. Third partying. A little early for a third party maybe, but trying to get as many kills on the board as possible. OG Wipe Gang trying to keep them away.
Actually insane over here. 3 teams up here at Shipyard. YT, they were trying to all use that launch pad, jump pad, like you mentioned, to get on out of here. Unlucky they weren't able to do so. And Rambox being ultra aggressive right now. Up close and personal. I hear the shotguns. I see the up 45. Again, Rambox, they're doing pretty well.
This worked out pretty perfectly for them. They'll bag themselves 3 kills. I did think it was a bit early for that aggression, but, I mean, they got involved and kept all 4 players alive. It didn't seem like either team could do much against them. OG Wipe Gang have once again disappeared. And they're going to try and get all their members back up. Luckily, managing to get a res off just before the rest of the team was wiped. So now with 1 player surviving, 2 players surviving even. Got a dilly here. They'll be able to move away, but still with the aggression from Brothers YT.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Move around.
Right, that's all you need to do. Like, if you are in a team fight and things are not going your way, just send one of your teammates to just evacuate, try to pull out as quick as possible, and survive, right? Survive so that they can have the opportunity to go to those revive spots and get the whole team back up and get them back into round number 2. So I believe that is exactly what's happening for OG Wipe Gang. They just need to be very cautious because we are going to have 999 right over there out there in the distance, and also IT. So they are not out of the thick of it quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to also get 3 kills on the board just before Rambox got involved. They did manage to get those kills, and looks like the last player of Brothers YT is unfortunately ran himself straight into USA Esports, who will bag their first kill of the game. Now we can see Josh Fur's beautiful face. Picks up his first kill. USA Esports trying to keep that momentum that they gained on Friday here. Keep it into Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully, you know, the Sunday tiredness hasn't got involved yet. You know, we're still hyped. We're still putting all our energy into the games.
Yeah.
We'll see how they do.
And the week on a high note, right? Especially because after today, it's at the halfway mark of the tournament, and if you could finish halfway the tournament, it's up there on that left side leaderboard, you're obviously doing something, obviously. So, yeah, let's see what they can do. USA, they are going to be somewhat off-center up there to the north. There's going to be a team approaching them here very shortly. That's going to be the story for a lot of these squads. And here's 999 right now. Catching an OG wipe gang, at least one of the teammates, leaving them down to just a solo.
Yeah. We saw them get involved once again. One of these teams that's running, you know, closer to the bottom of the table. Not exactly the worst team on the board, but still not exactly really getting involved in Group D so far. Osaka and Club 9D have really been taking the lion's share of the points for this group. They have been playing well. There's been moments of brilliance for them, for sure. Getting themselves 66 points on Friday, pretty damn good. Not the best on the team, but once again, it's not all you need. Rambox now trying to defend away from USA Esports. One kill on the board for them, but it's now Osaka who get involved and try and third party all of these players. Joshua will pick up a triple kill onto the last, one of the last remaining members of Rambox. You can see one is driving well away, trying to keep away from this team, but it's now Osaka who jump in around the glue walls, put down some time turners. USA Esports are striking back though. Two members of Osaka have been knocked, but do manage to get that kill in the end. Finish off the team and keep every player alive.
Yeah, what an interesting play right there. We saw USA, 3 of their teammates use those glue walls and build their own little fort, but it also allowed Osaka to completely surround that fort. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. So it really came down to their close combat quarters, gun skills, and their shotguns or melee weapon ability. And Osaka, I like how they're being proactive. At least when we saw them on Friday, this was always a team that was avoiding fights, in my opinion. But right there, they saw the opportunity to backstab USA right there, and they took it. They took the opportunity. And talking about opportunities, Rambox taking that opportunity to also pull off and just continue to survive right there and kind of allow USA Esports to be the bait that was needed for them to pull off and not get sandwiched. I like it.
Yeah, that's great. You can now see Mr. Edwin over there towards Graveyard, just trying to sit towards the edge of the zone and get his team members back. You can see they're starting to drop down now. Look at that, lovely. Getting some team members back. In the meantime, Zundel Esports, they have wiped Club 9D. That's going to be pretty happy times for Pizarro Esports, who, I mean, their main rivals in Group A. They are Club 9D, you know, breathing down their necks in terms of points. So, very nice of them to not have that pressure on their backs for this game. Big Drip getting involved with Zundel Esports, as well as SKB. Zundel Esports, they seem to be running a train through this one. They're not really taking any casualties. They're getting all the kills they need. Now up to 5. Make that 6. Beautiful for them.
Little time turner right there. And let's see, can they continue to kind of sweep up these kills on SKB right in front of them? Mag 7, still 4 up from Zundel. 8 kills, maybe even 9. And I really believe that that fight between them and Club 9D was a confidence booster because Zundel currently in 20th position on the overall leaderboards coming into this match. So that was a huge win for them.
Yeah, we did see them take a booyah in their first day of competition, but apart from that game, that one map, they didn't really put many points on the board. So with only 100 points heading into this game, they really need everything they can get coming into the you know, the last day of the first half of the group stage. I'll be very happy with their performance so far. In the meantime, Big Trip, our lowest performer so far on 52 points. They've managed to pick up a kill. And now just kind of getting dismantled very slowly by the rest of the teams. You can see 2 players full health, 1 player very low. Those glue walls nicely timed to keep themselves alive, but with only 1 kill on the board, they really need to push into this one. It's going to be very difficult with Team 999 hunting them down like this.
Not only that, Team 99 are in a position that they could just chill and gatekeep because the next zone goes up and Big Drip are not in it. And another thing that kind of worries me is on Friday, Mr. T was hitting those grenade shots every single time. Mr. T got a 3-piece with 3 different grenades. So this player, they know how to aim that nade. So watch out for that. But over here, PSE, once again, in the heat of it against Zundel.
Yeah. Trying to make some moves happen, but again, Zundel, they've really had a good day today so far. It's only been 15 minutes so far, but really putting on the pressure. Bizarre Esports don't seem to be able to move anywhere. Look at this, being held back, zoned outside of the area that they want to be in. Zundel Esports keeping them back. The 2 players just holding them away. They are the ones that need to move, and if Bizarre Esports keep this position, we'll just be able to pick them off as they run around those glue walls. 1 down. Might be able to get that res off, but Jeff is kind of stuck behind this wall here and now being held off by Domidios. Very difficult to move. Bizarre Esports look to have won that fight already, but IT Official, they come in from behind. I managed to get 1 kill, 2 kills, and Bizarre Esports is already eliminated.
Yep, IT out there just third party in that whole fight. No care in the world. And Zundel, Jeff, the last one alive, still surviving over here, but barely. Just barely. Look at the next circle, by the way. Big drip, big chillin'. Right there, smack in the middle. This is exactly what they needed to start out their day.
Beautiful for them managing to. I mean, I can't
They
think
can
of
survive.
I can't think of a better end to that fight for them. But yeah, it is really. There's still a lot of teams left in this final few minutes of the game. IT Official, they will come up on Big Trip here, team which they've dismantled several times before. So far, not able to completely finish them off. They will finally. They've now got a triple kill. Team 999, though, they're entering to fight, and they will be third-partying this one. Can they finish off the remaining members of IT Official before they regain their strength, before they get back into this one? Got shotguns, they can defend this stairwell. Nobody's pushing them so far. Team 999 opting to play more passively. They have found 2 remaining members of Rambox up on this rooftop. They're trying to just kind of hide away, but... Oh, it's an open shot. No, not managing to find it. Turning around the corner, they try and get another one. The glue walls go up to keep him alive. Jumps off to the roof. Can't get away. Will be knocked down, and Rambox Gaming finished by IT Official, but it's now Team 999 who are going to take the fight to them. One fight versus the other. Coming out on top just about so far, but they push forward. There you go, Team 999, a clean wipe. Leaves only Zundel Esports with the last remaining member left.
Insane right there. I just went and complimented Big Drip for their position, and IT999 said, yeah, Dave, we like that position as well. Just straight up snatching it from him. Jeff should be able to get a second place for Zundel. Oh, we need to hit these shots. Okay, quick little 360 there with the shotgun. But that's a good game. That's a good game for Zundel, because they had so many kills that game. All game long they were involved since the drop. But 999, once again, starting out the day with a booyah. And I really feel like the game-winning play for 999 here was their decision not to push into that compound with Big Drip and IT, but instead to play the outskirts of that compound and use the utilities such as grenades to just inflict as much damage as possible.
Yeah, I think really the thinking there is, one of these teams is likely to jump out of here at some point, trying to get away from the rest. No matter what happens, maybe we won't get all the kills on the board there, but at the very least, we're going to be able to pick off people right as they come around the corner. They'll have no support whatsoever when they jump off that roof. Worked out for them pretty well. They managed to get a full team wipe without taking any casualties, and it was a pretty easy job taking out the last Zundel member. But yeah, I mean, what a slow game to start things off with, but well calculated from a lot of these teams. And I mean, teams like Bizarre Esports, Club 9D, they're going to be missing out on a lot of those points. Teams like Team 999, Zundel Esports, Rambox Gaming, they're going to be the ones, lower down in these groups that are going to be taking all the points.
Yeah, 999 actually popping off that game. And we talked about them a little bit here. On Friday, they did okay. I think the only caveat, at least for me, was the highlight play of the night, and that's where I was kind of mentioning a little bit there. But Mr. T hit a grenade 3 times in a row and then finish off with a 1v1 with a close combat shotgun. and got the booyah. And I think that was that moment that the entirety of Team 999 really started playing different, started playing a lot more aggressive and a lot more confident. So for them to be able to get the first booyah tonight, I expect them to just continue to snowball.
Yeah, well, we hope so, and I'm sure they hope so as well. I mean, they really do need those points at this point now. They're starting off the day well, but once again, every time they've done this before, they've slowed down after these good games they've had. They've had good games on both, what was it, 2 Sundays ago and Friday. They really did well to start off with, or maybe they did well at the end of the day. But, it's kind of this, momentum machine. They really need to keep that going if they really want to get into these points here, and they do need to get themselves up into that higher half. I mean, depending on how they finish today, it's really going to determine whether they're playing safe for that LCQ spot or whether they're pushing hard for the final spot. Because if you take it too far, pushing for that final spot could really land you in the elimination spots if you play too aggressively.
I wonder if Zundel ever found that key. Found that key to the crypt, the Assassin's Creed Tower crypt out there. Regardless, second place still really good. Second place gets you 9 points alone right there and play some points. And kind of another team I want to mention real quick. Big Drip. We talked about them. They were dead last. They, I believe, got a 5th place in game number 1. That's 6 points. That is okay. The only thing that I would want to see more is we can see in the highlights, they're always in the background. They're always just avoiding fights. They're always trying to avoid third partying. If I'm Big Drip, I don't think you can play that way. I don't think you could just try to survive. I think you need to survive and get a lot of kills, because this is one team that needs a massive amount of points to even play catch up at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Their closest competition from any group that isn't A or D. I mean, we'll see in a second. I'll mention that in just a second. But right now, Team 999 taking away 20 points. It's a lovely start to the day. Zundel Esports, with 8 kills as well, is going to take 17. IT Official getting right up there as well. Rambox Gaming just about getting there. But, it's really the losers for today. That Pizarro Esports, if you want to contend for that top 4, obviously they're doing incredibly well already. But it seems like teams like Atomic, Fuego, they're really ramping up the pressure. They're really gaining momentum as they go through. Atomic were the first team to break that three-digit barrier with 100 points yesterday. If everybody else is going to be ramping up this pressure, and Pizarro Esports, if they start to fall off, Pizarro Esports and Club 9D, if they start to fall off now, they're not going to keep up with it. They need to be in that top 8 at the end of the group stage.
Yeah, and what's even funnier, just looking at this, kind of opposite of what I suggested for Big Drip, that they need to go for some more kills. Osaka, they need to go for some more placement points, right? Like, it's like the opposite story. Every single game, Osaka, they always get those consistent kill points, but they're never getting those consistent placement points. And to be a team at the top, we can see the overall leaderboard, like, you got to have both. You got to have both right now. And yeah, we can see right there, average placement, 7.3. So a 7th place is only 4 points in total. So they need to try to survive a little longer is what I'm saying here.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a very aggressive team, I would say. They go for third parties all the time. They go for these aggressive plays, but they don't really think about what to do after the fight's done, how to clean up after that one, how to defend against third parties that they might encounter as well. We can take a look at the overall leaderboard now after Game 31 here. You can see Big Drip, as we were talking about before, their closest competition in another group. Let's pretend the groups involved today aren't a problem. So the Skullbreakers, OG Wipe Gang, Brothers, YouTube, and Zundel Esports aren't really a problem. We'll say for now they might get more points later on. But Big Drip, they have 50 points to gain to get up to Jewel Kings there, who are the lowest performing out of groups C and B.
Yeah,
that's a big gap to make up, even in a couple days, especially when you think about consistently they've been getting 24, then 28 points in a day. That's a lot. That's 2-3 days worth. That's a whole week's worth of games to try and catch up to them.
Yeah, it's a big gap, but I'm going to say at least they have a goal, right? It's not like they're just coming into these games not knowing what they need to accomplish. I think you hit it on the head that the goal should be, let's at least try to catch up, or best case scenario, pass Dual Kings here today. So with that goal in mind, they could just, simple math. Simple math to just calculate the numbers every single game when we talk about kill points and placing points, and hopefully at the end of tonight be near Duel King so that they can have that chance to be top 8 in the second half of the group stages.
Yeah, well, as we can see, once again, we're going to be getting into our second game, our second Bermuda game of the day. Our last Bermuda for the first half of the group stage. Goodbye, sayonara. We'll see you again next week. But, obviously, this is really important. The teams that, aren't so great on Bermuda, you can see like Club 9D, who don't particularly get a lot of points on Bermuda. They're not too worried about this one. But teams that really do need to get points here, like Team 999, who are consistently performing better on this map than other maps. They really need to get all of the points they can right now. So I'm excited to see what they pull out of the bag.
Yeah, Club 9 deep. I'm looking forward to Kalahari, by the way, because we were told that they have a 100% win rate on Kalahari Club 9D. So I want to see them continue with that, but that's not here. That's not now. Here we are, game number 2 of the night of Sunday night. We got YT Brothers dropping in that high-tier loot area. It's like Club 9D going to be zooming right over their heads. And, wow, great little aerial view right here. It looks like Sundell pretty much dropping in the same spot. Same thing with PSE, the same west side on the map near that Assassin's Creed Crypt Tower.
Yeah, we don't usually see Club 9D drop towards Puccini here. That's an interesting one. But they might be heading over towards Sentosa, obviously, with a drop so far away from Sentosa. Maybe it's a good idea to just kind of drop somewhere that they can get to quickly, get some loot, and then run over towards Sentosa instead of gliding all the way there. Take a long time, and you'll be, kind of slower at acquiring all that loot than every other team. So, be a good play from them. But they have nobody near them, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Nobody hot dropping. I'm surprised. Like, what is going on here tonight? I wonder if that's going to just be the theme of the night, that all these teams just respect each other's drop spots, and they're not trying to risk getting taken out first, getting 0 placement points here tonight. And I think that goes to tell you, like, how sweaty the lobby is becoming, because now all these teams and players, they realize, hey, we're not doing enough. We might not be doing enough, so they are doing everything in their power to kind of avoid these RNG early game fights, and they're not looking to fight until they're stacked up with loot, with gear, with meds, and their preferred weapons here. So on one hand, I appreciate it. I like it that they're kind of playing to the bigger picture. But on the other hand, I want some early game action. Like, come on. So, yeah, it's better for the competition, but hey, we'll see.
I mean, yeah, it is the last time that these teams are now coming up against teams that they've never seen before at this point. This is the last time that we're going to be, kind of figuring each other out. Obviously, A, they've played against C and B now. They haven't played against Group D yet. So they've got, 6 new teams to figure out on that one. So, maybe there's that kind of front of, we need to figure out who we're playing against. We need to figure out exactly, how good these teams are. We probably watched the VODs of USA Esports absolutely steamrolling everybody yesterday, and obviously that's, not yesterday, sorry, 2 days ago, and that's a pretty intimidating thing to see. But we've seen a lot of like varying in kind of performance from Group D so far. It's really been not like the most central group, but the most kind of everybody seems to perform differently on different days group. That's the interesting part, because you can never really predict what's going to happen.
Talking about unpredictable fights here. 999 versus USA.
First blood. There you go.
Ooh, USA are done. Gone. Out.
Wow.
Mr. T, the last one to survive, able to now pick up the teammates, and that's going to set USA back a couple pegs.
Yeah, what an even fight as well. Everybody picks up 1 kill on Team 999, and 3 of them were knocked down. Mr. T also on low HP, so they managed to clench their way outside of that fight and just get all the way to the end of that one, but it wasn't without a fight back. At least they will pick up. Well, actually, no, sorry, not at least they will pick up. They got 3 kills. I mean, they did knock 3 people. That is a bragging rights, maybe, that they did well in the fight, but they will go away with 0 points at the end of that game, which is very unfortunate after doing so well in that fight.
Yeah.
You can see everybody is now getting more involved. This is a much more kind of involved first half of the game than we saw last time.
Yeah, about 4 minutes in here, and we saw just a glimpse. It looked like Rambox were actually pushing towards Club 9D to set up a nice little trap against them in their rotation into circle number 1, zone number 1. But Club 9D actually recognizing, like, hey, we got a complete team over this hill, and because of that, they're able to completely avoid that. Club 9D now going to be using Cape Town to rotate through, and Rambox, unsuccessful trap here in game number 2.
Yep. Well, everybody seems to be, learning very quickly how to get away from, how to disengage from fights effectively. This isn't something you see so often in games where, especially because obviously we haven't seen this mechanic in esports until very recently, is this being able to revive your teammates. So, these teams probably aren't used to being able to disengage from fights and having to disengage away from fights at the end of something, when there's 1 or 2 players left, having to run away. Obviously, self-preservation, a lot of teams will have tried to kind of, when they're down to low players, get to the end of the game with just 1 or 2 players left alive and just kind of sit at the end of things. But now, I'd say it's better to disengage early. When you're still, you've got a fighting chance, not get involved with that fight and try and pick up kills. Just leave people alive, head out, get your team members back in the game, because that's more important. It's being able to bring 4 players to that final fight than, getting kills and then, staying with 1 and trying to sit towards the edge of the zone.
It's actually huge, right? Like, your team is in a fight and things just aren't going your way. As long as you try to continue on with a solo to survive, you can get right back to the fight moments later with that revive mechanic and have that round 2. So not only have that round 2, but you also have a good idea on where that enemy team that you just fought might be, right? So you can kind of plan accordingly to maybe take that team out that took out most of your members just because of that one revive mechanic. So I really do appreciate it. I really do. Talk about appreciating things. I see a couple war chests on the map. I know that is one of the areas we can find that key, man. I want to see one of these players find that key to unlock that tower crypt. Like, I want to see what's in the tower crypt, the loot. I see Brothers YT, a team just passing one of those crypt towers. There's also another one all the way up there on the mini-map up there in the north. Nobody's there for the time being, but maybe OG Wipe Team. Maybe they found a key. I see them launch pad and back. Next zone goes up. 999 in Osaka. Dead center here. Papa Twiggy. Dead center.
Yeah. Here we go. I mean, this is where it really gets involved. Obviously, we've had a little bit of a quicker start to the game, but with only, 6 players down at this point, 42 players still left in this second zone, and a lot of them aren't even aware of each other's positioning here. You can see Rambox just move straight into this house without realizing that they're right next to Zundel Esports, who will start firing upon them. Santos getting just about away from that one before it gets knocked. But at least they have some cover to hide behind. Luckily, they didn't rush the house that Zundel were in, because I feel like that would be poking the bear's nest a little bit. But
who wins, though? Who wins that fight? I feel like Zundel win that fight.
Yeah, that's a close one. Yeah. I think, Zundel do take it away because they're so good at moving in as a team, getting involved, all together and just being able to react quickly to stuff. But, well, we'll see how quickly Big Trip can react to Club 9D here, who, after a disappointing first game, they really want to get some kills on the board. They do that immediately. A couple knocks. 2 members of Big Trip still left standing. I'll come around behind and try and just get a wrap on them, but not going to happen. All eliminated. Club 9D, they keep all members alive. They'll be very happy with that start.
Yeah, it looked like Big Drip were utilizing a lot of umps and Tommy guns up close and personal. Club 9D had a couple of those shotguns to use there. Mag 7. So we'll get back to that because we got a bush. We got a bush out here from SKB trying to back out, trying to survive. There's 3 teams. There's Brothers YT, SKB, and Rambox over here, Twiggy.
Yeah, it's very tightly packed. Edge of the second zone. Obviously, we're still relatively early game, so this is a joy to see so many teams engage with each other so close. And now I feel like vying for control of this revive station. Obviously, everybody's going to want to be using that one. I think Big Shadow was going for that, but eliminated now. That is Brothers YT once again eliminated early in the game. The lowest performing member of Group D so far, and it looks like it'll stay that way. Leaving last game with 0 points. They're going to be leaving this game with, I'm pretty sure, 1 point. So, still not quite what they want out of today. But once again, it is Rambox Gaming and Sundell right next to each other.
I'm paying attention to OG Wipe Gang. I see Fearful all the way in the blue. They might even die, but they were able to successfully hit that revive station and I believe get 2 of their team members back up. So talk about being able to utilize that new mechanic here in the group stages. You gotta appreciate the little things in life here, Twiggy.
Absolutely. But little things, I don't think they will be for much longer. You can see so many tight packings of groups here. Bizarre Esports just kind of scouting out Team 999. I think Osaka are on the other side of this kind of embankment hit. Everybody else will take a shot to the face and back out, but that's a lovely little flank. No, won't find the kill. Time Turner committed. Last member of OG stays alive a little. Oh, not last member, sorry, but lonesome member in a way, just by himself under this. It's a very common spot to kind of hide out, you know, on these dams in the river. Just kind of sit there, and there's a lot of kind of hard cover to hide behind there.
There's the airship above. Okay. Making some moves. Next zone did go up. Osaka, the only team in the zone, somewhat dead center. Riverside up there to the north, and then Club 9D on that east side. Mr. T, though, Mr. T from 999 looking to hit these grenades right there on the edge against PSE.
Yeah, they now have the zone 2 themselves. They can just kind of keep PSE away from this one. We now need to cross the river. It's a difficult task against a team that has been performing incredibly well today, especially against this team. They've already had a run-in in that first game, and they're already knocked. They're already down to 1 player. Team 999 will keep them away very effectively. Bizarre Esports very low now, and the embargo has arrived for OG Wipe Gang. They'll be able to try
yeah.
keep the rest of
that
the
right
members
there
alive.
Is a YOLO send. Just get in the vehicle, just send it. Good luck trying to survive. Fortunate for them, they were able to pull up and get some loot over here. But unfortunate, though, one of the team members from 999 right above that, trying to hit these grenades, and look, right from behind, OG Wipe Gang God with the P90, looking to really stir the pot right here. Time Turner. Not enough, no.
Well played to try and play within the barrier and get out of there before anybody. Ooh, Mr. T spotted one out, staying hidden until he gets an open shot. Not quite landing them. I'll be able to get themselves in a corner, but all the high ground, that might work out really well. Holding a nade, throw it in. Lovely. Well cooked. Perfectly on the head. They'll just be able to back out away from this one. Hide in the zone, and, you know, it's going to be very difficult for OG Wipe Gang to now kind of reassess their situation, get that back up. With the zone closing in on them, they will be able to res that, I think, but Team 999 now on 8 kills. It's a very, very good start to the day for them. Oh, there it is, yeah. It's going to be difficult to move away from that one, and they do both get knocked.
Just a little status update. Club 9D on the opposite end of this circle, they're just wiping out everybody. They are just taking out everybody on that east side. So there's your little update. What's happening on the east side as we are going to be looking at the west side.
Yeah. Jake trying to get that res on Feverful there, but got knocked, killed by the zone just before, and it looks like that's going to cost him quite dearly. Oh, that's a sad way to go for OG Wipe Gang. All 3 members there knocked and killed by zone, and now we're down to our last 5 teams. Osaka, we've already got involved in a couple of fights, up on 5 kills, and they do have a nice control of the south side of this new zone here, the 5th circle. Club 9D taking the east side, Team 999 up on the northwest, and then you got IT Official who are just joining on that southwest side.
Jeremy with the heal gun right there. Teamwork makes the dream work. Osaka down here in the south. We can see Club 9D are on fire right now. Have a nice little compound to call home. Hard cover on that east side. Bunch of kills to go with it. Like you mentioned, almost 14 minutes in this game. 5 teams to go. Still a little bit of water in play for 999, Mr. T in particular. But IT, they have been doing a good job at really keeping 999 at bay as they try to make the push into this new circle.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. They've got, you know, a hill to work with, but not really much else apart from that. They have, well, maybe not by their own choice, but they have managed to take a pretty awkward position on the edge of this zone. And Team 999, they do know where they are. Really a Saka who they're going to have to try and rotate towards if they want to take some position. But no matter what, and they're going to have to engage in a fight, which is the difficult part about this.
Yeah, and I think IT are going to make up their mind here very shortly. Do we push north to a team that we know exactly where their positions are, or do we risk it and go towards that southeast to Osaka?
Oh.
Next zone goes up, so it seems like that option is only the north push. Let's see if IT can do that, and if they need to, pop some glue walls, pop some time turners, try to close that gap, get up close and personal within grenade range. That's what they need to do, but they're getting picked apart.
It seems like they chose the secret third option of that one, is just get stuck behind a tree and wiped by Team 999, who are now on 12 kills, and they've just been able to pick up pretty much a free 4 kills there. So there we go. Osaka, they will get involved with Club 9D, the previous kill leaders of the game. Close fight. Time turners committed. Glue walls committed. White caught out of position. Will be knocked. Finished by Domi. The rest of the 3 members there are up towards that hut. Now they need to hold them back. The remaining members of Osaka, they push in, and that was maybe a bit too aggressive. 1 knocked down. Osaka, they're also fighting off Team 999 here, so Club 9D may be able to take advantage of that fact. Now have knocked 3 members of the team, finished off another couple. Domi is the last member remaining, will be able to get a finish, but a res is going to come through from Club 9D, leaving them with 2 members left alive. Against this one, oh no! Zone will finish them off. Never mind, Club 9D eliminated 4th.
So good from Osaka right there. They had a little 2-2 split. They sent 2 up close in the front lines to get within that range of the time turners and glue walls, and then step 2 in the back lines to play that oversight position. But now, late game, 2 teams to go. 999 looking for that booyah, and of course, 999 getting another booyah in the books here, Twiggy.
Oh, chef's kiss for that last shot. That was absolutely beautiful. Just spotted out the last member. Finish that one off. Nah, no need to get involved in a fight. Just find him through a window. Done. Absolutely. I mean, just beautiful from Team 999. They took advantage of their good positioning. Oh, well, maybe luck. Maybe just, kind of they knew exactly what they were going to do. They made the most of their situation. Obviously the zone did land on them so many times, but they managed to, keep a hold of that and actually just make the right decisions every time. It did favor them. So absolutely brilliantly played. Keeping away IT official towards the end, then not getting involved with that fight until Club 9D were completely eliminated, and then just finishing off the last player. I mean, they managed to finish off Bizarre Esports towards the end there, who did take 3rd place. Congratulations to them. But once again, it's just well played. The second booyah of the day as well.
I think I'm Mr. T's #1 fan, honestly. Let's just call it what it is. Mr. T, signing my shirt, signing my forehead. Osaka, a team that we were kind of talking about, always getting a lot of kills, right? Always consistent with getting kills. This last game, able to not only get a bunch of kills, but also some solid placement points, kind of what we were looking for. They were able to get a 2nd place, which is going to be 9 placement points, plus their kills. So there are a couple of these teams at the top, like Club 9D, Bizarre Esports, like you mentioned, that are just maintaining. Right, they're doing a good job at maintaining their top position on the overall leaderboard, and that's going to make it even more of a challenge for these teams in that mid-pack who are right now playing catch-up.
Yeah, well, we will be able to take a look at the scores for that game very shortly. I mean, yeah, once again, Team 999, I think, took away easily, very close to 30 points for that one. There were so many kills. They managed to wipe so many teams. That they just completely ran away with that one. It seems like, dipping into both kinds of sides of the coin there is that, they were obviously playing for position, but they didn't really need to get aggressive. That's why they got so many kills as well, is that everybody just kind of came to them. There was no option for every other team. There was barely any hard cover to work with, especially for IT official, trying to climb a hill straight into them. Zone landed straight on them. Nothing you can do at that point. You can see early on they got involved in Team USA and just completely wiped the team. I mean, it all started there. That was where the momentum became too much for every other team to catch up with.
Yeah, we saw them fight USA. We saw them in a very long fight against OG Wipe Squad, who kept kind of trying to play that backstab role, that thorn in the side. They were finally able to take them out. And then, like you mentioned, IT behind that tree right there. So it wasn't like they were in a compound just getting blessed with the zones. They were constantly being forced to defend whatever position they were holding down. And then right here, something to note. they were third-partying all these teams out there across the way. So that was also a really critical heads-up play for them, because the more enemies they could hurt, harm, and take out in that position, the easier it is for them to set up for this booyah here. And, well, there you go. 16 points here. No, 16 kills, 28 points in total.
Yeah, that is a brilliant score to take away from one map. They'll be up to, well, I mean, we'll see what their score is very, very soon, but Club 9D also taking away 10 kills, they will get 17 points. That's good for them. They do need to maintain that position, but, you know, this isn't what we expect from teams like Club 9D and Pizarro Esports. Pizarro Esports not even getting a single kill that game. They got kneecapped so early on that they really had no chance of getting any kills, just playing for time at the end there, grabbing 8 placement points, but as you can see here, look at the kills for MRT with 8. Shackle getting 5. Steve Gray also getting on top of that one. But you can see 2 players from Team 999 adding up to 13 on there by themselves.
Yeah, and then 2 players from Club 9D as well. So, hey, congrats to 999 in the first 2 matches. But for me, all eyes have to be on Club 9D with this 100% win rate on Kalahari. And Kalahari, Calamari, that next map, we will be playing it 2 times coming up next. So, can Club 9D, can they reclaim their spot up here on the top echelons? I mean, they're already in 5th place for today, but wow, 999 are just running away with it here, Twiggy.
Yeah, this is massive for them. I mean, this is more points already than they got in their first day of competition against Group C. They grabbed 40 points on what was it, Sunday last week. So, I mean, obviously not a great start for them. They grabbed 66 points the day after that. Or not the day after that, but Friday. You get what I mean. But this is really massive for them. If they keep up this run of form, you know, they're going to be grabbing, what, 130-something points? 142? No, 146 or something like that. 144. Yeah. There you go. Sorry. Quickly calculate that one. That's a lot of points. That's way more than any other team has got in one day so far. It's really about if Club 9D can grab that win against them or not on Kalahari, or whether Team 999 are just going to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, one more good game from Team 99. I'm looking at just this, and overall, they're 10 points behind Big Drip's total points. Right? So just put that into perspective. Like in 2 games, 999 almost got as many points as Big Drip has in total. So 999, talk about clocking in to work here today. They are clocking into work. They are looking for Employee of the Month. They are looking for that overtime bonus because they are just performing at the top right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this isn't, you know, a really wild thing to see from Team 999. Yeah, obviously they had the slow start, but we saw them in the open qualifiers where, you know, you had teams that they were playing against that we've already seen here, like Rambox Gaming, Atomic, 1A Esports, Navy Esports, OG Wipe Gang. They were playing against all these. They grabbed 61 points 61 kills, sorry, 94 points in the round of 36 in the open qualifiers. So, you know, this is something kind of we expected from them. It's just that we didn't, you know, see it from them in the first 2 days, so we weren't really expecting them to come up into this one so quickly, but they're doing so well now.
I was looking as well, kind of before we started today, who's playing here in our groups, and that first place spot, Fuego, right? First place, I think it's Bizarre Esports, 74 points to tie with that first place mark. Twiggy, do you think they have it in them? I know we still got, 4 more games to go. In 4 games, based on what we're seeing here so far tonight from Bizarre, do you think they can claim that first place spot? That's my question to you.
Well, I think every time we come up with this kind of thing, Club 9D seem to just pull something out the bag in Kalahari. It seems like they clock out on at least Bermuda, but we'll see exactly how well they do here. Maybe they're just not feeling it today. Maybe this is Team 999's time to really take the whole group by storm. Just get up there with those points. They're now contending, as you said already, they're already contending right for that top spot. They are now, I think, overall in 8th place. Overall, only after 2 games of the last day.
Slaying, actually slaying, dominating. So getting into this map, 3rd map of the evening, Calamari, as I like to say it. We are going to have IT official dropping dead center at Refinery. Looks like near the maze we might have some early action. Brothers YT, SKP, and over here. Okay, USA. There's fights everywhere.
They got involved quickly here. Do see... I mean, this is not kind of what we expect from USA Esports. Usually, I would say... Actually, no, sorry. This is what we expect from the Foundation. I was reading the notes wrong. They do drop hit a lot of the time. So they're very, obviously, familiar with the zone. Now, Skullbreakers are going to have to run well away from this area. And they're actually split up into a 1-and-1. Which does give them, I think, a better chance of getting away. Oh, never mind. Eliminated. That'll do then. USA Esports, once again, starting things out quickly. Last time... Not quite getting involved because Team 999 took them out first thing, but this time they don't drop on top of Team 999 and they do get a good start.
That right there, getting a little bit more respect on their name here today because USA, a lot of expectations coming into tonight's games just based off of their Friday performance, but first two games they just got clapped on early as well. So nice little change here in map number 3 for them to come out on top. Looking good. Looks like that team fight, that team communication was on point. The call outs every single time there's an enemy. At least 2 of the members from USA were already covering it. So that's exactly what you like to see. And let's see. They are going to have to defend now. Looks like Brothers YT right there on the outskirts of Foundation out there to the west. And we do see a zone. Looks like Foundation right there on the cusp of the edge. So USA, they can hold this down for some time, kind of allow at least the 2 members we see to work their way towards them. So they might be able to get a couple more kills here on the board.
Yeah, this is a very nice zone on top of them. This is a place they like to play, and now everyone's forced in towards their location. Luckily for, you know, look at this. Bizarre Esports obviously somehow dropping in a very similar location to Zundel once again. It seems to be the thorn in their side, as you said earlier. So could come to haunt them earlier on, but they've got a nice zone. I mean, they're going to be well within the zone no matter what happens here in the next one. Because half of that zone is outside of the map, or outside of playable area at the very least. Woo! There they go. Club 9D. They're going to go for a quick rotation. They're going to be dropping pretty much right on top of Team 999 here,
yeah.
Who do have one player well away from them, scouting out. So this actually could be massive for Club 9D if they do manage to get involved in this fight quickly.
Yeah, this is a pretty big fight here tonight because 999 currently on a 2 Booyah winning streak here. Now up against Club 9D, who I'm going to keep talking about it. 100% win rate on Kalahari. Let's see if they can continue on with that.
Well, here we go. They're getting involved in the fight. This is, I mean, coming up against the winners of the last 2 maps has got to be intimidating, but they do know how good they are on this map. It's all down to this fight. Only 3 members of Team 999 here, but they will manage to get the first kill onto Chackle. No finish yet. They do have to worry about themselves. That's a great knock with that. Oh, I thought there was the nade to begin with, but a shotgun once again. Rasta getting involved on Steve Gray. They seem to be winning this fight. No, Joan. Down onto Mr. T. It's going 1-and-1. Everybody's managing to get kills on the board. This is a nice rotation here from Rasta as he uses the bush to his advantage. Push around. Club 9D are able to get this res off, possibly. Yep, they do get Steve Gray back up. That does put them at a 2-man advantage now. They need to get that kill. Yes, a good finish for them as well. This is getting really good for them. Drops off the top here, Rasta, but straight into the gun of Steve Gray. White will finish him in the end, and it looks like 9D, they will win this fight. So, I mean, well, the rest of the team, they have to run away.
Rasta, an actual bush right there. Almost clutched it out. Not once, but I counted at least 3 times that Rasta really caught Club 9D off guard by surprise and was able to get a lot of damage with that Mag 7 onto Club 9D. But Club 9D prepared. They knew exactly what they were getting into in that 4v3. And fortunate enough for 999, they had that solo out there near Stone Ridge. Still alive, Twiggy. So they're not out yet. And it looks like they are going to be at one of the revived stations. So we might have a rematch here.
Yeah. Everybody's making their rotations happen now. IT official. Once again, using the jump pads. They're very useful on Kalahari. You need to cross a lot of distance.
Oh
yeah? No. Not yet.
999 are back, though. They are back.
Yeah, they are back. Yeah, managing to keep one player alive. They do. Drop those members back on top of the map. Lovely for them. Club 9D still do get those kill points, though. I'm going to be very happy about that one. It's a fight one, no matter who you're coming up against. If you do get those eliminations, you do get those eliminations. It's points on the board for you.
Yeah.
So no matter whether, they've taken out a team or not. Oh, but I think, yeah, OG Wipe Gang are now getting involved with Team 999. It seems like they can't catch a break whatsoever. They've now got to defend the position that they only took to get one member back up. You managed to get that res off. It's a difficult position to defend against the high ground of Jay here.
999, no luck here. No luck here this game. Rasta caught in the open, no bush available. Gonna be thirsted right there too. Gonna be thirsted. So. Alright, let's see. OG Wipe Gang looking to make some plays here in map number 3 against 999.
Oh, now, they're all split apart. Once again, I feel like they're gonna have to split up and go for another rotation round to a revive point. It's a difficult situation to be in. They've not had any time to gather resources, to gather defenses, heal kits. They don't have anything, so they're just getting wiped by every team they encounter at this point, and that's just going to get worse and worse as the game goes on, as they play more for getting revives rather than, getting stronger themselves. It does mean that they really come into every fight just trying to go for placements. It's so difficult for them to get a kill now.
Fortunate for them, and when I mean them, 999, they have a revive spot north of command post, and that's where they were currently holding down. So they might actually be able to come back for that third time to try to pull things together. But over here, Zundel in my favorite spot of this map, that broken ship up here, one of the spots for the TDMs that I love to play on here. Looks like Zundel going to be holding down the high ground here. And up against Club 9D, currently trying to keep that 100% win rate alive. Oh no, they're going to be pushing out here in the open up against a M60. Ooh. Not what you want to see if you are a Club 9D fan.
Yeah, luckily nobody dropped off of that one. Not managing to find just enough shots to get a knock there. Oh, and in fact, White gets involved. Headshot will get a knock, and oh, another one. I mean, they're just getting knocks all over the place. Jeff is down now. All good. Zundel now crippled a little bit. Managed to get one member back up. Luckily, they have a lot of heals. They have a lot of glue walls to use to keep them away. But Club 9D have now taken the position that Zundel were really using to keep them away. Jackal has got an incredibly interesting position. If he can find a shot off there, that will be very good for his team. But now, Club 9D, they are wrapping around Zundel Esports, just trying to push them away from here. And there's nowhere Zundel can go now. The position was great to begin with. It's really going to come back to bite them when Club 9D push that position.
Club 9D must only play Kalahari. Like, honestly, this must be the only map that they scrim on, that they practice on, because that was just too clean. I definitely thought they were at the disadvantage, which they were, by the way. Not losing anybody. Not losing anybody. And talk about having a good game. OG Wipe Squad out here, I believe, having one of their strongest starts yet. 6 kills so far.
Yeah, that is very impressive from them. A team that plays terribly, but 33 points, 36 points. They haven't really, broken the mold so far in any of their days playing. Maybe they just needed a week to warm up. We'll see. Now gaining, a lot of points on the board, and starting to get into that placement points area with 9 teams left remaining. Really all about how they play this one. Obviously, you want to take that favorable situation and turn it into a little more.
The bushes always get me every single time. Like, where they go. Fun little, I guess, update. Twiggy, once again, you see down there in the south, 999. All back up, baby. All back up, baby. Yeah. So let's see. Third time might be the charm for 999. Looking for that third booyah in a row. Club 9D, though, still alive. 4 up on that east side. Could be making their push in as we have 9 teams to go.
Yeah, everybody now trying to get in towards this new zone. Landed right in the middle, so everybody really needs to move. There's nobody that really was sat in the middle of this one, apart from Pizarro Esports, who do go for very early rotations. Generally, oh my god! Oh, domed. Oh, but the kill is stolen by Big Trip. Kill got stolen by Big Trip. Domidios doesn't take anything away and actually gets knocked himself. Ouch! That's that's such a good shot, and he doesn't get a kill for it.
It's that meme that you know you messed up, right? They jumped there. They knew they were in a bad spot. Immediately through that glue wall, but even the glue wall couldn't save them because they got domed right away. Wow, that was nice. That was nice.
Very nice. And they do manage to res him, so no harm, no foul. It's just no kill on the board. Unfortunate, but it happens. Big trip. Just kind of scavenge any points they can get. And they're doing it successfully in this game. You can see everybody is now starting to get involved with each other, obviously. Everybody trying to get rezzed. You got so much open space, so it's very easy to do that. Oh, Osaka trying to rotate round, but they're caught in between a sandwich of many teams here. Big Trip is who they're running into. They've got, on the flank, they got Brothers YT. They got OG White Gang just to their south. Difficult to move now. You just need to get behind these walls.
Yeah, very difficult position, and I believe they recognize, like, hey, we got a team ahead of us, and we got a team behind us. Really feel like it's a missed opportunity, though, for Brothers YT not trying to backstab third-party Osaka right there, instead just going full-on avoidance. But over here, Big Trip defending. They're building.
They're actually doing incredibly well. 2 knocks, but they push them out of this position. Let's get that finish down. And they do actually manage to get the whole team. Oh, they're now on 4 kills. Quite happy for them. They just need to turn that into some placement points at this point, and now they'll be pretty happy with that one. Seems like everybody is starting to get some momentum in their sails. Try and turn their good fortune into something, more for their team. Especially, now is really the time they need to do it. We can't say it enough. Before the second half of this group stage starts, they really do need to get some points on the board. Yeah,
especially Big Drip. Like, Big Drip, that's a fact right there, and I believe one of the squad mates used my favorite weapon, the Woodpecker. Solid weapon, marksman rifle, especially here on Kalahari with all these sight lines. Really good choice here. Club 9D, 7 kill points. They ended up going all the way from the south, wrapping around that east side. Now going to be up here against PSC in the north, trying to get a foothold in the zone. And talk about getting a foothold in the zone, 999. Look at them. Still alive, still just trucking along here, Twiggy.
Yeah, they found themselves another safe location. Obviously, they've got no kill points yet, but they've already bagged themselves, 4 placement points at this point. So, the longer they survive, the better that's going to be. And if they play safe, I mean, they really don't have the, resources to play more aggressively. So they do need to sit back here and just wait. And that is looking like the game plan for them right now as Big Trip. They do know where they are, so it's just kind of this waiting game now.
Ooh, Club 9D, they look like they're in a fight against PSC and Brothers YT trying to third-party that one. Same thing with IT. So they're getting third-partied and fourth-partied. Club 9D are just managing to stay alive because I don't see them really in the kill feed. It's going to be chaotic here, though, Twiggy. We're coming down to the end game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of teams here. 7 teams left in this very close, tightly packed zone. We've got a river in the middle of it. Not a lot of cover to work with there, but you've got 2, groups of people on either side of that river fighting each other. Osaka get involved with Brothers YT. Looking very hard for them to get away from this one. Chuck trying to get up that last member. Oh, no. They will be finished off by Osaka. Yeah, it's a difficult situation there as... Well, now, Team 999, Osaka, and Big Drip are all right on top of each other. One knocked by a member of Pizarro Esports from across the river. Now, just playing for any... Like, you're playing for centimeters here. Meters at the most. Oh, but that's some brilliant shotgun play from Rasta. He'll move in again and try and get another. Oh, finished off by a nade, but that's a lot of damage to start things off.
Rasta just putting in so much damage right there, like you mentioned, and that really is going to be helping Big Drip, who are right there on that second story, right above Osaka. I think they're going to be piling down in that first story. Also, grenades getting piled in from Mr. T. Of course, it's Mr. T from the outskirts of the window right here.
Oh, there it is again. Osaka, they'll take down Big Trip. They're now the kill leaders. Team 999 are the only team that can knock them off this pedestal right now, as nobody else is on the same side of the river to them. Oh no, but they're getting third-partied now. IT official they'll move in from the south and just kind of take down the rest of the Team 999 players. It's just Mr. T left, you mentioned. He's your favorite. He will manage to get 1 kill. He manages to get the second as well. Mr. T bags himself 2 points against Osaka, knocks out the team, manages to get himself into the final 3. It's IT Official, Bizarre Esports, and Mr. T.
Wow. Mr. T. Mr. T is done. I was about to say, Mr. T versus the lobby. No match for Mr. T. Wow, what an intense fight right there for 999, third place. Hats off to them. IT versus PSC here for the last fight of the game.
Yeah, there you go. Bizarre Esports already on 3 members, but they've already managed to get 1 knocked as well. Playing such a, they're trying to keep away from each other, trying to not get knocked at the same time, but now they've only got 1 member left standing. Addy up and the glue walls here. IT Official managed to get everybody back up. Try and turn this 6 kills into 8 by the end of this game. That's 1 knock for Adiel. Tries to turn around the corner, get his second. No! They'll finish him out. There you go. Well, they will take their first Booyah. I'm not sure of the tournament. Actually, I think it might be their first Booyah of the tournament. IT Official. Brilliant from them, turning what has been a mid-table performance into a winning performance for them. Lovely.
Booyah! Right there for RT Official. You know who we didn't see win the Booyah, Twiggy? Is it even a trick question? You should know this one. You should know this one.
Love9D didn't manage to keep that 100% win rate. No. I mean, they really did get involved earlier on. It's just, when it got to that awkward last zone, they were just not in the right position to deal with it. Lots of teams on either side of them, and I mean, when you're coming up against Bizarre Esports, anything can happen.
And what's even more interesting, because we are in the group stages with this revived mechanic now, recall, early game, Club 9D and 999. Boom, boom, back and forth. And then 999, once again, I believe it was up against OG Wipe Gang. Boom, boom, back and forth. 999, third place. Third place this game because of that revived mechanic. So they actually out-survived Club 9D, the team that really took them out and took it to them in the early game. So that mechanic is definitely helpful if you know how to use it correctly here.
As you said, they come third. They bagged themselves 8 placement points. They got 2 kills at the end there from Mr. T. They'll take away 10 points from that game, which, considering the circumstances, getting eliminated almost twice by 2 different teams, I'll take 10 points any day of the week. That's brilliant.
Yes, sir.
And then,
Mr. T,
obviously,
dude.
yeah.
Mr. T, sign my forehead. How many times am I gotta ask this from Mr. T? With that glue wall placement and the shotgun, that funnel that they were able to create right there from Osaka, but also Osaka, they had to defend against Mr. T, throwing grenades, just pre-firing the shotgun from outside that building, and also big drip falling down from that stairwell. So Osaka, another team who all night long, pretty consistent with their total points every single match.
Yeah, I mean, doing well once again. We're going to see them, keeping that kind of upper mid-table kind of thing. Obviously, Group D has been, not performing incredibly against the other groups, but Osaka have been towards the top of that one the whole time. They had a good first day. They had a kind of middling second day, and they're looking to have a pretty good day to round things out in this first half. Let's see some highlights from the game here. As Team USA, where did they go? They did so well at the start of the game, and then, I mean, obviously, as they moved in, everybody kind of got involved with them. They didn't manage to get much further than that. You can see here the first fight between Club 9D and Team 999, who, I mean, they didn't cross paths any later in the game, but it was a good win from Club 9D. I think, really, a lot of teams, teams have learned now to be able to disengage from fights. Teams now need to learn how to stop people from disengaging from fights, because them not dying out there, lost them a placement point, technically. Team 999, they placed higher than Club 9D in this game. So, technically, not getting that last kill, they lost out on a kill point, and they lost out on a placement point.
Well, you asked what happened to USA, they got grenade launch right there at the end. Really impressive push from Club 9. I know they didn't win the Booyah, but that push on that broken ship up against Sundell, who had the clear advantage in my opinion, that was another kind of beautiful calculated push from Club 9D, and that's why a lot of people can easily say one of the best teams in the lobby. Rasta, Bush Rasta, still all game long pulling out those bush plays.
Oh, we're about to see
catching
it.
these enemies off guard here. Mr.
We're
T,
about to see
dude.
it. Oh, here it
Mr.
is.
T,
Here it is.
the nastiest play here so far tonight. There's one.
Guardian.
There's
Oh!
two. Mr.
Oh my
T.
God.
Actually insane. Actually insane.
That is a
Gun
beautiful
skills.
way to get yourself into the podium of the game. I mean, Bizarre Esport didn't really stand a chance against the full team of IT Official there at the end, so it was kind of a non-game at the end there. But I mean, Bizarre Esport's obviously doing incredibly well as well, taking away 8 kills, 17 points. Osaka getting 10 kills. That is a lot on the board for a team that, you know, really didn't get involved until towards the middle of the game there. 17 points I'll take away from that one. This is more of that kind of even distribution we've seen from at least, you know, Group D this whole time. You know, you can see Club 9D got 13, so not doing too badly for themselves either. Here we can see the kills. As you can see, even distribution almost. You can see Big Tripper up on there. You can see Osaka up on there. OG Wipe Gang up on there. Everybody's involved.
Let's go. You love to see it, right? You love to see the distribution, especially for teams who really need it, right? Teams that are on that bottom half of the leaderboard. So, Brothers YT, SKB, USA, Big Drip, those 4 teams at the bottom, I really want to see them do something. We are going to have a little small halftime break here. Hopefully they can come together, kind of review maybe what went right, what went wrong here in the first half, then just come back strong, correct it, and finish the night on a high note. Because remember, Twiggy, after these next 3 games, all of these teams even halfway done with the group stages. So there's a lot on the line. A lot on the line.
Yeah, a lot on the line as well. I just do need to talk to you quickly about the new thing we've been seeing a little bit. You've seen a couple of the skins, you haven't you? You've seen the towers, you've seen all of these crypts, you've seen the Ezio skins, you've seen everybody running around with all of these lovely things. And I'll tell you what, I'm loving it because I've been playing a lot of Black Flag recently. I love this game. I you know what? I've not really been massively involved with Assassin's Creed, you know, over my gaming career, but Black Flag is one of my favorite games ever, so I'm really happy to see some Assassin's Creed in this game. So you'll be happy to see the Free Fire and Assassin's Creed collaboration. We're seeing many things. You're seeing crypts where you can get special loot. You got these skins. You got the wings you can get on your back. So those are cool backpacks you can grab. You know, you can dive off those towers. Do the little what's it called, leap of faith into that hay. Absolutely beautiful. And the emote as well, the leap of fail. You can jump onto the ground and faceplant. That's always lovely as well. You know, just make a fool of yourself. That's my favorite thing about everything today, is making a fool of yourself. That's, as I'm making a fool of myself right now. We can throw it to a break right now, and you can take a look at all of these new items you can get in the Assassin's Creed collaboration.
Survivors, welcome to Season 2 of the Free Fire Pro Series. We're back to bring you more action, more talent, and even more booyahs for the best teams in North America. On top of a whopping $50,000 prize pool and the bragging rights of being crowned the FFPS Grand Champion, This season, the winners will also earn the first ever North American invite to the Free Fire World Series. But before they get there, teams will have to fight their way through a grueling 2-month tournament, including an open qualifier, group stage, last chance qualifier, and grand finals. The action started earlier this month with the open qualifier, where 192 teams from all across North America joined the FFPS for the first stage of the tournament. Each qualifier round featured 6 games, where teams earned points based on their in-game performance, including their placement and their kills in the 12-team lobbies. Only teams in the top half of their lobby moved through each of the qualifying rounds, making their way through the round of 192, the round of 96, and the round of 48. The bottom 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals joined the top 30 from the round of 48 and the last open qualifier round, the round of 36. The 18 teams left standing from the final round earned their spots in the group stage. For the group stage, the top teams from the open qualifier will be joined by even more invited teams from Season 1. The top 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals will qualify straight into a 24-team group stage, alongside the open qualifier teams from Season 2. Teams will be split up into groups of 6, and these groups will face off in a double round-robin format where each group will battle each other in a 12-team lobby twice. This stage will take place across 4 weeks, with 3 game days per week. In the end, the top 8 teams will punch their tickets straight to the finals. The 9th through 20th place teams will earn one last shot in the last chance qualifier, and the bottom 4 teams will be eliminated from the tournament. The last chance qualifier will be a 2-day gauntlet where teams that fail to qualify from the group stage will get their last chance to earn a place in the finals and fight for the title of FFPS Grand Champion. 12 games will give the top 4 teams a shot in the finals, while the remaining teams will be eliminated. The Grand Finals will pit the top 12 teams in North America against each other in a 3-day event. 6 games per day for a total of 18 games will be played for teams to claim their piece of the $50,000 prize pool and for a grand champion to be crowned. Which squad will reign supreme and get their chance to represent North America in the World Series? Tune in to find out.
Welcome back, everybody, once again to the second week of the Free Fire Pro Series group stage. We have just gone through Bermuda and our first game of Kalahari, where we just witnessed the fall of a titan. Club 9D lose their 100% win rate on Kalahari, and I could not be sadder to see it. But in that, we have seen the rise of an incredible amount of competition from Team 999, who have absolutely performed their hearts out for the first half of today, and I hope to see them carry on that momentum for the rest of the day. Obviously, maybe they didn't have the best game yet, last game, but I mean, to be fair, after they were crippled so early on by Club 9D, you cannot ask for much more than 3rd place.
Facts. Nothing but straight, cold, hard facts. And talking about some more facts. 3rd place, Bizarre Esports. Playing today, 57 points behind that 1st place, Twiggy. 57. So they definitely are catching up, with 3 more matches to be had here this evening. Do you see them? I asked you last game. Do you see Bizarre Esports finishing in 1st place here at the end of the day?
I mean, look at it like this. Bizarre Esports is a team born out of the top performing team of last season. Obviously, last season wasn't for as many, it didn't have as much quality in it. It was a very growing scene, the NA scene. We didn't have a spot in the World Series last time. This time we do. But I mean, it was a team that performed incredibly well there. I'm sure they can perform their hearts out, and they have been so far. Can they make up those 50 points in 3 games? It's a tall order, but can definitely be done by a team like Bizarre Esports.
I think they can. By the way, my shirt colors matching the Free Fire Pro Series logo. Just throwing it out there. Ooh. Nobody recognized it. Nobody mentioned it. Come on, man. I try to coordinate this stuff. No appreciation. But game number 4. Twiggy, talk about appreciating. Game number 4. Let's get it. Kalahari, Calamari, baby.
Once again, here we go. Club 9D looking for a better game this time, obviously. They really do need those points now to push themselves keep themselves in the top 8, really. After this game is, or not after this game is done, but after today is done, everybody's going to have a very good idea of overall, how they're going to stack up against the rest of the teams. It will have completed out their play time against every other group. So now they've played 1 game, or 1 day of games against every single group. They'll know all of their opposition, and they'll know kind of how they stack up against them. It's really important to make a good impression in your first 2 weeks.
Talking about making a good impression, we saw last time USA coming on top of the SKB 4v4 early game hot dropping foundation. Round 2 here in game number 4. USA don't look as prepared. I'm looking at their weapons. I'm trying to see what they have in store. SKB definitely playing this one a lot slower. I believe trying to gather their preferred weapons before making the push.
Yeah, they don't want to really get involved with the team that completely demolished them first thing on that first game. They couldn't even get away from them. Got caught out as they were trying to get position away from them, go towards those revive stations. It's really that's the worst kind of thing. Is that when you count on being able to disengage from a fight, if somebody takes that away from you, that's suddenly going to make things very difficult for you. You can see a completely different kind of stronghold going over here for OG Wipe Gang and Brothers YT. But this is a very slow start to the game between every team. Teams that are dropping right next to each other, just waiting for each other.
Uh-oh, there we go. Looks like some plays might be happening over here. I saw a MAC-10 and a Scythe. Pretty solid weapon choice combo for this up-close and personal skirmish that's about to erupt here any moment now.
Slow.
They do have one of their squad mates on the back line. Pretty much playing that oversight to make sure that they can't get flanked. I do like that.
Here we go. The first shots do ring out. Skullbreaker's still playing very slowly and very, spread out across these guys, trying to maybe get a flank or push them into each other. Oh, but no. They group up once again, and now USA Esports, they're engaging straight away. They're going to actually go for a push, I think, here. Time Turners are committed. They back up once again, but here comes the slow push, using that glue wall to get themselves a little bit of space in towards those players, and now they get involved. Shots ring out everywhere as everybody just tries to get one player down. That's one down for Skullbreakers. They need to push onto this one and get a couple more knocks. They do find 2, and they will finish off a couple more players. Can they finish off the USA Esports team that so well pushed them in this last game? It's looking like USA Esports are taking control back here. No, but Skullbreakers, they will win the fight this time. Keep 3 players alive. I'll probably be able to get the res as well, since this is right next to one of those res stations.
Yeah, wow, that mini Uzi definitely coming in clutch too, 100%. SKB coming out on top here, and like you called, able to get their teammate that was thirsted back up and in it. So it looks like Foundation, the battle here, going to be a 1-to-1 with SKB and USA here. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next week for that Foundation fight. So over here, 999 in it. Once again, trying to push this open field here up against OG Wipe Gang over there in that broken ship. Looks like 999 do have 1 kill so far. All right, OG Wipe Gang down to just 3 though here, Twiggy.
Yeah. We'll see. Team 999 are definitely aware of where they are. You need to now push them down. Slow, methodical. See if they can find anybody. You see they've got those nades ready, trying to clear areas. That's well played. Throw a nade in to clear that building before they push in. But 1 player left behind in Oxley is going to be taken down very quickly. They were ready for somebody to be that close. Now they know that the rest of this fence is clear. They actually have a open area over that river towards the boat. They now know that they can just kind of sit here and play for time. 2 players left of OG, and as soon as one peaks, God is down. Only 1 player left in Feverful.
And it's the little things in life. I think I mentioned it like two games ago that you just gotta appreciate. And right there, what stood out to me for 999 is when they were pushing, they were also tossing in grenades to those buildings to try to flush it out and clear out the building before their teammates were within a range that would make it a danger if there was an enemy in that actual compound or warehouse. So those little things all add up in that team. And talking about these little things, PSE, UMP, up close and personal against Big Drip.
Massive. Oh, just getting involved at every angle. There was nothing Big Drip could do whatsoever. Just beset on all sides by Master Gunman. through the windows,
Points.
around the corners. Yeah, that's great for them. 4 kills, and only 1 point there in terms of placement. For our big trip, a team that really did get involved in the last 2 games and just didn't manage to get any points this time. They're slowing down once again, as Bizarre Esports are picking back up that momentum that they've been building for the last couple of days.
Big drip equals big points for Bizarre Esports trying to get that first place here at the end of the evening. So Jay Money out here going to be at one of the revive spots here. Going to be waiting a little bit and is going to be able to get their team back up and at them here. We can see that little indicator where Jay is. Once when it gets all the way filled up, see that little white line, that's when the teammates come back into the match here. So good job for Jay for recognizing that there's going to be a revive station right up there to be able to get their squad mates back up and at them.
Yeah. It's a godsend, this new... Oh, it's literally sending God. It is a godsend. It is sending God. This feature that really only recently got introduced. Obviously, well, God is going quite a long way away. Dropping in towards Refinery, maybe playing a bit of a scout role over here. I guess it's important that you do have at least position advantage when you're playing against teams that are much better equipped. Maybe just AFK. Yep, just AFK. Never mind. God is going to be taken down. And, I mean, the rest of the team is actually being hounded down by Bizarre Esports.
Yeah. I guess, they went to go get a glass of milk or something on a little break. So, another point out to the enemies out there as OG Wipe Gang. Looks like they're just beating PSE.
Yeah, looks like it.
So, 1-2 Tana punch.
I'll do it.
Kill leader. 5 kills here so far for PSE.
Yep, lovely for them. OG Web Gang once again have to kind of
lovely
try
for them.
and...
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I like it.
I mean...
what do you do?
That's unfortunate. You really got to have everybody paying attention if you're going to res the team.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a new change. You got to be aware the whole game if you got somebody alive. Look how populated Refinery is. Club 9D, IT officials, Skullbreakers. You see Zundar over towards the bottom there. This is massive. This could be a very quick mid-game.
I'm actually surprised we don't see a lot more of these pro players utilizing these vehicles. I saw one of those big old Munster trucks right there in the middle. If that was me, I'm getting in the vehicle and I'm trying to run over people. Like, that's just my bread and butter. Running over people in the launcher. That's how I do. But over here, SKB in a fight once again. Down to just 2 here, Twiggy.
Oh, that's such a quick fight from Club 9D. They'll catch 1 out the door. That's only 1 Elim down, 1 knock as well. We'll push in aggressively. Oh, not about finish off the player though, and turning around the corner too quick. SKB, they are eliminated by Club 9D. It's IT official who are right next to them though, who might third party this one. You can hear the nades pouncing through the window there. But they've got position, so they don't really need to push it.
Yeah, and not only that, IT, they are separated in Refinery right now, trying to hold down all the different angles, 360. Looks like they're going to be grouping up here just a little bit, as Refinery is dead center. Such a main focal point right now in this zone. So, honestly, I like the call from IT instead of being ultra aggressive there. Just pull back. Just pull back. Just look at the zone. Play the long game. Hold it down. You got the high ground position. Just try to get some snipes, apply some pressure, and some damage out there. No reason to give up such a prime position right now in this zone.
Yep. Mindy rotated round away from these guys. The thing with this zone now, you can see the revive stations are very limited on this one. You know, a couple of them outside of that zone, and it looks like none of them will be inside the next zone. Osaka pushing in towards Club 9D here. How close they get, but right now Bizarre Esports on the long rotation away from Zundar. Not getting involved there. I mean, we've seen how many times Zundar have made things difficult for Bizarre Esports. Maybe not a good idea to get involved, but here comes Osaka pushing in towards Club 9D. They will get 1 knock. How much more can they do? Getting another one. Only 1 player left. White has to defend against 4 players. It looks like Club 9D could be out for an early elimination. Osaka, not quite a third party, but definitely cleaning up the mess that was left of Club 9D there.
Who's to blame here, honestly? Is it? I blame you, Twiggy. Yeah, it's your fault. You know, Club 9D, the 100% win rate, just not pulling out here tonight on Kalahari for that team. in particular. Oh, man. I hate to see it. But hey, they still have 2 more games to go here tonight to really come back, clap back. And over here, Refinery. IT once again on the high ground. Zundel beneath them trying to get within cover. Woo! Just able to make it in time. Now, this position right there on the edge of the new play zone, too.
Yep.
Oh, they're here.
Quick fight. Yeah, they're
They got
already
here
up.
quick.
Zundel push all the way in. IT official now to defend their position on Refinery. There's a lot of places teams can go here, though. You can see Zundel taking the high ground right above IT official. How effectively they can use that, as a lot of them, you know, kind of occupied with other members of the team. You can see a lot of people shooting at Zeus there. They do seem to realize that there are people on top of them. Whether they can deal with that effectively now. They do manage to take down Jeff and Jonah. Looks like IT official will be taking this fight quite handily. Only 1 player left. Or 2 players left, sorry, of Zundel Esports.
The
Left
BM
alive.
right there. The BM right there. I'm surprised, though, from Zundel that they actually decided to, like, push into that. Usually when we see zones like this and positions like this, there's always a team that likes to play the top of the platform and underneath the platform.
Yeah.
I really feel like Zundel could have played that team role underneath the platform and let IT kind of be their gatekeepers or their guardian angels, I guess you could say, up above. But instead, they decided to take that fight, and it's like they lost a couple in the process.
Yep. Speaking of losing a couple, Bizarre Esports already have 2 down. Oh, do manage to finish off the fight on Osaka there. They will get the reses back up, so leaving themselves with 3 people alive. An effective fight for them, even though it came close to the wire. We're looking at, you know, a relatively underpopulated last couple zones here compared to what we've seen before from these teams. We see this one a lot more central, so drawing people in all towards each other rather than being towards the east, which it was last time. Maybe, you know, a lot more kind of positions to vie for means that you're more likely to push in towards teams, get more elims, and leave the less ones underpopulated, but
Yeah.
IT official right next to Bizarre Esports now.
Yeah, an IT official, talk about just having a team underneath your thumb. Rambox out there. Rambox, I don't know how they'll be able to make it out of that position alive here. They're right there on the edge, too, so I don't believe that compound that they're in is in the next zone. So they have very limited time, not a lot of options. You can have 999 and IT both just covering you with their pre-fire here, and you'll start to see that effect right now.
Slowly but surely. IT official trying to fire shots down on top of Rambox. We do have a lot of cover to work with. At this point, I'm not sure the fight is worth taking. Oh, but from behind, it is Team 999 that get involved, get some kills on the board. 1 player down from Rambox. And another snipe from Makulu, who will take another one. Oh, that's an awkward position now. They did have a nice kind of amount of hard cover, but now they have to move. They've got a team on either side of them. It's actually not working out so well for them.
Yep, 4 teams to go. Let's see who will be favored in that next circle. Almost everybody right now playing the edge. Looks like IT going to be pushing into PSE. They decided which way they want to rotate. Just full blown right here. All 4 of the teammates push it in. Looks like PSE are in the compound for the time being, trying to toss us some blue walls to provide some cover. But IT, they are collapsing.
Yeah, everybody moving in now. IT official will push in on Bizarre Esports, but Bizarre Esports are holding them off very well so far. That's 1 down, at the very least. Oh, there we go. Bizarre Esports do manage to win a fight. Rambox Gaming, in the meantime, taken out by Team 999, who now start to third party. On top of these teams, IT official get the kills on Bizarre Esports, but now it's just 1 team versus another. 2 players left on IT official. Up against a full squad of Team 999, who have been playing amazingly today. See if they can get their 3rd booyah of the day. Narrowly missed out on it last game. 1 kill. And 2 kills. They will take the booyah. And it's Team 999's 3rd in 4 games.
999. 3 booyahs out of, what, 4 games so far here? Wow. what are they doing? What did they eat, right, for
Yeah.
dinner or whatever? Like, what is happening? Because they are doing just phenomenal here tonight. And once again, Mr. T, for some reason, I just always love Mr. T's positioning. Always kind of playing that off skirts role, that guardian role, to make sure that their team has the cover necessary to really go for these plays. Once again, we saw Mr. T on the outskirts of the building, just charging up that weapon and letting it rip through that window, really damaging and taking out those glue walls that were providing the much-needed cover for IT at the end right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just well played once again, doing the best with what they were given. This time, the zones didn't favor them whatsoever. I mentioned in the first game, very much, the zones did kind of favor their position. That way, it was a relatively easy decision-making time. But this time, under more pressure, under much less favorable circumstances, they still made good decisions, pushed around at the right times. The rotations weren't too early, they weren't too late. They were effective in fights, third-partying 2 of them towards the end there, and they just managed to get all the kills they needed. They didn't even take a casualty at the end. I mean, I can't fault them at all today, it doesn't seem like.
I mean, we can see the map rotation right there. Yeah, we saw 3 Booyahs. IT with one of them, 2 more games to go. The potential for them to continue to get these Booyahs, it has to be up there, right? Their confidence, that momentum right now for 999 has to be at an all-time high just because of their performance so far tonight. I think we should expect some more aggression from them as well, because when we normally see teams performing so good, they're just on fire, right? And there's nothing stopping them. So I'm really curious to see that with the revive mechanic now. When teams start moving, what's stopping them? Honestly, what's stopping them? Maybe a hot drop from an opponent, but we really haven't been seeing hot drops here tonight so far.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, everybody's been very respectful of each other's space to begin with. We've seen fights in the first couple of minutes for sure, but people are letting other people loot quickly. It's not like we're picking up a gun immediately and then going, all right, let's wipe this squad immediately. Let's not let them get involved in the game whatsoever. There's a lot of respect between these teams, it seems like, in this later stage of the competition. I mean, as you can see here, it took 3 minutes for this fight between Skullbreakers and USD Esports to start. And this is happening all across the board. There are teams dropping right next to each other, as we can see here, 5 minutes into the game. OG just getting into their second fight with Team 999, who started things off very nicely against them. And this is just kind of maybe a situation that they thrive in here, Team 999, is just being able to wait things out and then play effectively towards the end of the game.
They put this in the replay.
Oh no! No!
Oh, yeah. Okay. The BM right there from production. Wow. Okay. I see what you're doing now. I see what you're doing. SKB though, remember they had a nice little fight with USA. They survived for a good amount of time here this game, and wow, Kalahari, definitely one of my favorite maps, just because you have that potential for all these close range quarter combat fights, and it's just fight after fight, right? These teams just push in the compound, utilizing the time turners, the glue walls to really create their own lane, right? Just pre-fire on, and Westby right there with the jump shotgun katana combo to seal the deal.
Yeah, really. I mean, lots of highlights all around for a lot of different teams there, but it is Team 999 to take away 24 points. I said this earlier on. If they keep up the run of form, they can get 144 points if they kept up what they were doing earlier. They're now on, well, I mean, we'll see what they're on in a second. I don't want to spoil that for you guys. I do know what they're on. And I do know the likelihood that they are going to take the most amount of points in one day out of anybody over the whole first 2 weeks of the series. But here we go. I mean, look at the amount of kills here. Makula getting involved with 5. Obviously, like Pizarro Esports did so well, and still Team 999 take the win.
Yeah, I've been looking at the overall all night, thinking that Pizarro Esports are going to take that first place spot. But honestly, with the amount of Booyahs that 999 are acquiring, they might actually be that team from tonight to maybe, just maybe, I don't know how many points they need to close that gap, but we just might see them finish at least in second place if they can continue on with these Booyahs. Look at that, 82 points here so far tonight, and look at the kills, 38. So they got more kills than 6th place on down. More kills than those teams got in total.
Yeah, let me run some numbers by you very quickly. They're on 82
Please.
points right now in 4 games. That's well, I mean, we could talk all day about what average that is because I can't really think of that right now. But either way, what the thing is right now that oh, average 20.5. Well, there you go. My production has my back on that one because I don't know why I didn't know that. That's very easy math. Anyway, so Team 999 in 4 games, 82 points. The most amount of points a team has got in a day so far is Atomic with 100, which just happened yesterday. If they keep up this run of form, they will end today with, what, 123? Yeah, 123 points they will end today with. But either way, all they need to do is get, what, 8.5 points a game to take the top spot in terms of points per day. That is absolutely insane. Like, in 4 games, they've made their position so easy that all they need to do is finish decently. At this point, they don't even need to get many kills. They just need to survive towards the end of the game, and they'll already have a day that puts them into the top 4.
Let me ask you this, Twiggy. Let me ask you this. Put on your coach hat, right? You're a coach for 999. What's happening in the locker room right now? What are you telling the team to keep them pumped up in the last 2 games of the night?
I cannot imagine their comms are anything but pumped right now. I honestly think at this point, as the coach, you just get involved. You just get right in there with them. Join in with the celebrations that are going on right now because they're already doing amazingly. The only thing that can stop them, it seems like, is getting hyped immediately. Like, the only thing that has stopped them so far, and barely stopped them, mind you, they still came third in that game, is when they got down to 1 player immediately and had trouble keeping back up. You can see their average placement overall. This is overall, not just in today's games. Is 5. And they've come, an average placement today of, 1.3? 1.3 is their average placement today, so just better than 2. Technically, their average placement, if we're rounding, is 1. They've won so many games today, out of the amount of games they played. Their average placement today is first. They are absolutely insane, and an average kills of 6 over the whole tournament as well. They've pumped that up from, I think, what was somewhere around 3 or 4.
So what's really sticking out to me as well, to kind of continue on with the 999 team storyline here, is they have to be, at least from tonight's games, right? They have to be the only team truly utilizing that revive mechanic, like every single time. Like you said, like when they're in a fight and they lose 3, every time that happens, they always have that one alive, just out there on their own, already running, already trying to get to that revive spot so that the team can get put back into the game immediately. Yes, we've seen other teams use those revive spots, but not as consistent as 999 has been doing all night long. And we saw the perfect example of that in the game right before the halftime, right? They got taken out 3 times, and they still got a 3rd place in that game because of that mechanic. So they know exactly what's going down here with the revive mechanic. And I hope that other teams catch on here soon and start kind of taking a page out of that 999 book.
Yeah, well, we'll see how much Team 999 can keep going into Purgatory. Let's see if they can break that 100 points, get into that top spot there for the day, because if they do, that will take them into 4th place overall at the end of this first half. Club 9D seem to be down to 3 members. That's going to make things difficult for them, especially when they need it most right now, but everybody's going to be dropping in onto Purgatory. Once again, a very similar map in terms of breadth and width to Kalahari, but this time, a little more kind of flat, a little more cover to work with, but a little more spread out.
A lot of water, too. A lot of water, so that's always interesting to kind of see. And one of my favorite spots is Ski Lodge or Moat House up there in the north. So we'll see who will be dropping down there. And like you said, Club 9D going to be down to just 3. They're going to be looking at Lumber Mill. SKB, though. SKB, we were asking, how can you put a halt? How can you put a stop to the momentum that 999 have going on right now? I have to say, 2 teams dropping near you early? That's how you put a stop to it.
That's one way to do it. Trading back and forth now between Osaka and Team 999, but it's Osaka who take down 2 members and might be able to get a res onto their own team here, and they do indeed. Oh, that's one way to do it, for sure. 2 members remaining of Team 999 now, and they're stuck between a Skullbreaker and an Osaka Sandwich. They need to get out of here, get those reses going. You can see they're already going for this. You can see the way they're propelling out towards the outskirts of this. Oh, no. No, no, no. It's not going to happen if they get taken down. Mr. T, he gets knocked. There's only one player left, and it's very difficult to get out of this situation now. Ouch.
So let's see. This is a prime example to kind of add to the point that I just said, that 999, they're so good at being able to use those revive stations. And this is a prime example down to Mr. Solo. Will we see them moving forward? But here, PSE and Rambox. Another early fight here in this game.
Yep. Casualties all over the board. 6 eliminations already. A lot of dancing that. Zari Sports very happy with what they've done, but I mean, they haven't finished off the team, so maybe celebrating too soon. That could come back to bite you, as it has, I mean, once or twice, actually. Not finishing off a fight for Bizarre Esports has made them lower down in the standings than they'd like to be, but it's now IT Official that they're going to run into across the road here.
Yeah, IT Official saw the kill feed, they heard the shots, and they're just full-blown sending it right here on top of PSE. I like how they're working together as a unit, too, trying to wrap around PSE. Let's see, who's going to connect on who first here. They see West B.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
At least one.
Oh, and he's out in the open. Brilliant clue wall, but it's not enough to keep away the members of IT Official, who now just move as one death ball, it seems like, moving around as a team. Eddie will be able to get a headshot, knock one player down, but they have a lot of cover to work with. They'll be able to get that res up, and now they're back as a team. They've already finished off one member of Bizarre Esports, who are now spread out. IT working as a team, pushing together as one whole kind of conglomerate here. It's going to make it difficult for Bizarre Esports to defend each of their positions individually, but it looks like they have the marksmanship to back it up. Dimadios coming in from behind, takes down 2 kills, 1 more from his teammates. Beto trying to get an... Oh, what a good switch, but it's not enough. He's going to have to keep running away, and finishes are coming out all over the place for Bizarre Esports. IT Official are eliminated first.
That rooftop position really paying off for PSE right there. You mentioned PSE really separated right there, but definitely laying that trap. And I did enjoy and appreciate IT working together as a unit, but all it takes is some nice utility right there as well to really apply a lot of damage. So IT, since they didn't have one stay alive, they will not have the opportunity to hit that revive station. And you know who did have the opportunity to hit that revive station? 999. Look at Rasta. Rasta got the team back up here, Twiggy.
Yeah. Once again, Team 999, just so good. I mean, honestly, what they did there, and I did notice this. I didn't want to point it out in case, maybe it wasn't what they were planning. It just kind of happened that it looked like that. But they sent Mr. T one direction, and they put Razak just holed up in one place. They thought, Skullbreakers and who were they fighting at the beginning? I can't even remember now. They thought, these guys were, Osaka it was, they were running away. Mr. T started running away. They caught him. That's it. We got Team 999. They're down. Like, that seems to be everything. The other person must have run further that direction. No, they left Rasta inside the compound and just let Osaka chase down Mr. T. Chase down further on top of that, and then just, well, I'm by myself now. In an open space, I can go get my team back up. They're so good at disengaging.
Classic bait and switch. Look at me, I'm Mr. T. This is who you want. And Rasta, like you said, able to get the whole team back up and at him. So beautiful. And that just adds to the point that we've been kind of touching on here all evening long, how 999 just so good at being able to do that, to do just that, to be able to utilize this mechanic here in the group stages. And it's been definitely playing off in their favor. So SKB over here in the danger zone. Up against Osaka here.
Bit of Kenny Loggins.
Happen.
Skullbreakers back next to Osaka. They were with them to begin with. Didn't really get involved with the kills. Got one finish off there, but not much else towards the start of the game. It's now Osaka who hold down at the edge of this. They do have a bit of cover to work with, so danger zone should not bother them too much. Skullbreakers don't really want to push this one. Playing very passively, it seems like.
If I'm Skullbreakers, I'm heading out to that west side. Honestly, I don't want to take this fight. I'm looking at the map here. the West Island, that is the main focal point. You got Quarry, you got the golf course, you got Marble Works. It's wide open right now, Twiggy. Nobody's here on this west side. There's so many spots for these teams to really claim and call their own for the time being. Everybody is really there on that south edge right now. Club 9D, one of those teams. Yeah, here it is. So I'm surprised with how much open terrain there is right now to be had.
Uh-huh. Well, here we go. Yeah, again, it seems to be what's happening a lot with this lobby is that there's these tight groupings towards the edges of zones. Maybe we just got a lot of edge players, a lot of late rotators, and these big open gaps. In between them, you've got big tight groupings of different teams. Club 9D now trying to hold down this area here. We'll center. Brothers YT are going for that position, but it's Sundell Esports, so they're going to take first contact against them. They push around the corners. They try and get involved, and now it's Club 9D's wake-up call to get involved in third party this one. Push all the way around. OG Wipe Gang, in the meantime, taken down by Team 999, but Brothers YT take down one member of Club 9D there. That's making it difficult for them to get involved. Sundell will finish off the rest of them. It's really just they've been sandwiched out here. They're going to try and push their way through Club 9D to get away from that one, but nades coming in from White will finish off one of the last remaining members there of our team. Just trying to hold that one down.
Rambox too.
Yeah, exactly.
Here comes Rambox. And you know what made this one even more interesting is that danger zone kind of blocking off that next rotational pathway, really forcing these teams to stay back for the time being. Now that danger zone no longer in play, but definitely played a factor in why some of these teams might not have pushed off here.
Yeah. Slow in the middle of this fight. As Club 9D try and take more position, get a better advantage here, but kind of stuck between a lot of houses here. Zundel are on one side. Shackle has just found that out. Oh, but there's a high ground advantage there for Lectra. No, not managing to get enough shots on Shackle. But Zundel, they get involved now. Jeff will take down one. It's a lovely place. Nade to take down Shackle. Club 9D are eliminated in 10th place. And Rambox, maybe they can get involved and try and retake the rest of these Zundel Gaming team members, sorry. Third party this one? No, they're going to play a lot slower. Play for position.
Yeah, we can see on that map they're all separated, kind of on their own little mission right now just to survive and make it into that next play zone. And talking about that next play zone, both teams, Zundel and Rambox, running right towards USA. So we'll see what will happen. But Zundel, looks like they're sending a couple of their squad mates in the water right here. We can see Rambox going to be trying to occupy the bridge and just take some shots right now.
Yeah. Bring the car up there. Lovely. Try and get out of the zone. Quicker way to get out. Leaving Zundel behind below the bridge. Good idea. Priorities gotten straight, I feel like. And yeah, I mean, when you've just rezzed half your team, probably a good idea to not engage in a fight too quickly. You know, you've been given a second chance at this point. Probably best not to overcommit that.
Got him!
But everybody else gets involved. Team USA, USA Esports even, have moved in and just getting domed over and over again by Bizarre Esports. That's a full team wipe in the matter of seconds. Beautiful. Dominius does get knocked for his troubles, but they're now on 11 kills.
11. Actually insane, yeah. USA Esports not having the most hottest of days like we saw from them on Friday night. They will have one more game to go. Big drip. Big drip. These are points that they need. This team is way down there at the bottom. This is a team that definitely favors kind of playing passive, playing those zones, and trying to survive towards that late game. And that right there is a prime example. They saw a potential point, but decided to hold down and not take any shots, not give away their position here. And I really feel like a lot of that has been happening the whole tournament. These little missed opportunities for them. And it all just adds up. And now look at this. This is going to be worth it because PSE about to spot them out right here over the hill.
Somebody else, we know how good his aim is. Not quite getting Montana before they get around the corner. Missed opportunity. Team 999 are right around the corner. They'll have heard that shot. They'll know exactly where Bizarre Esports are now on top of this hill. Here they come around the back. Can they take down the kill leaders who have the high ground? Look at this aggressive push from Dominius. Time Turner is committed, and they do manage to get the knockdown there. A little bit too aggressive, maybe. They'll push in and try and get the teammate back, but Mr. T is running rings around them, around these walls. Not still. They push in even further. They do manage to get the knock eventually. In the meantime, oh, what a snipe from Rasta. A headshot will take down Teko in one go. But the team is split. Adiel is taking down Big Drip in the meantime. What's going on here?
Amadeus legit tried to take out Big T with a pan hit. Like, come on. What's happening here? What's happening here?
No.
BSC, though, 13 kills. These blue walls. Look at all this cover up here. Look at 999. At least a duo right there on the water, on the shoreline. Holding it down in the zone for the time being.
And once again, they're playing it very safe towards the end. They just want to now. I mean, they've used all of their 9 lives. I feel like they just want to sit back and, you know, wait for more position. This is what they did that game they didn't win. The one game they didn't win today.
Yeah.
So probably very similar to that in terms of what they want to do now. Bizarre Esports just kind of cut out any chance they had of really coming back into winning this game. And they have such a nice position now, right on top of this hill.
No more revive stations either.
Yeah.
Right? So that's going to play a factor in these teams either being aggressive or just trying to snake it till the end here. And one team not snaking it. Look at this. 15 kills. 16 kills so far here. They're going to be down here in the south now. They do have SKV. They do have Zundel. And Big Drip trying to take them out. So 3 different teams trying to take them out right now.
Yeah, I mean, a situation that looked incredibly good for them in terms of the high ground. It's really come back to haunt them because everybody is now fully aware of where they are. Everybody is aiming directly on them. Even when they're engaging in other fights, you can hear Skullbreakers getting involved with Big Trip. Both of these teams are still fighting up with Bizarre Esports. But, well, there's not a lot of, you know, high cover to work with here. And even though Big Trip, the last remaining player, is stuck inside that compound, Zundel are having a difficult, oh, not Zundel, sorry, Skullbreakers are having a difficult time of getting around there. There we go, they'll finish them off in the end, and Bizarre Esports have actually just finished off Team 999 as well, who actually get taken out in 7th place.
Yeah, their worst performance here tonight with one more game to go. So, Zundel, I'm really looking at their solo Big Jeff out here. I'm really curious to see how Big Jeff decides to play this one because they got 4 enemies ahead of them from SKB. Just itching to get some additional points here. And Osaka still alive here in the late game. 5 teams to go. 5 teams to go here, Twiggy.
Yeah. Very tight grouping. Once again, you know, you get to this 4th ring, the 5th ring. Suddenly
Edwin have a gun?
Yeah.
I don't think Edwin has a gun.
Oh, yeah, no. I've obviously rezzed and probably just with the pistol that he spawns with at that point then. Ouch. Oh!
Jeff! Jeff! Not like that, Jeff.
Oh,
there goes Jeff.
Yeah,
Edwin.
He's been reduced to a pile of brain matter on the floor. I feel like there. It's pretty much what's happened. Yeah. Unfortunate.
I feel like
no cover to work with.
No cover to work. I feel like if you are in this game and you see Edwin with no weapon, just let him vibe. You know, not a
come on, man.
Let Edwin vibe here. So let's see though. Edwin on their own. SKB looking like they might have an idea that Edwin over here. Across the way, Osaka still with 4 though. 3 teams to go, Twiggy.
Yeah. It's getting close now. Everybody's getting right up on top of each other. Luckily, Skullbreakers have had the zone work out nicely for them. So they will, you know, have the small amount of hard cover that there is around here. Osaka start to engage with Bizarre Esports, the only other team involved in the game, and Bizarre Esports just don't miss shots anymore. Teko, he'll get a kill. Not even just the knock, finish off the kill as well. In moves the zone. They need to start moving very soon, and now Osaka are kind of gatekeeping away Bizarre from, you know, getting involved later on in the game early enough, because, you know, if these two do enough damage to each other, Skullbreakers, they've got an easy win on their hands.
Yeah, I really like how Bizarre kind of utilized those outside concrete walls for cover, right? Now they're going to be pushing in, getting a nice wraparound here. West B trying to get some nice shots, trying to third-party the SKB push. See, they're still alive. Nice little grenade.
Managing to make positional advantages come through very well for themselves. They just need to get in a little further, and they might actually be able to get this one down. More kills coming out. More Bizarre Esports. They're just getting more and more, and SKB, they are eliminated eventually, just stuck in one position at the end there. It's a booyah for Bizarre Esports, and just an insane amount of points.
And I think it goes to how they played that one slow, right? Towards the end, they didn't just send it into the complex, to those walls, into the warehouse that was currently being held down by Osaka. Instead, they timed it perfectly. Once when SKB started to push in from the back line, that's when we saw them start to make their push and their approach in at the end. And they also wrapped around, too. They wrapped around the opposite end of the warehouse, which you wouldn't have expected, right, from them. So how many kills did they get, though? I didn't see how many kills they got. It had to have been at least 20. At least 20 kills.
I mean, they had 16 before we saw them kill Team 999, so up to 18 on that one. Then they got involved with Osaka, so that would be another 4. It was a full team, so that would be now 22. And then taking out SKB, so it must be 26. Like that's my guess there. 26.
Is that a record?
Is
that a record though in kill points per game?
I can
26?
check right now. Actually, I can check how many points people have got in different games. I mean, 26 kills plus the 12 placement points. That's 38 points alone. I'm fairly certain now that they've overtaken Team 999 in terms of points just today already off of that one game alone. Considering how not bad they performed for the rest of the day, but they hadn't really done anything spectacular. They hadn't got a booyah. They hadn't got a massive amount of kills. That is absolutely incredible from them. And I mean, yeah, it wasn't especially, aggressive from them. They were very kind of reserved the whole game. It's just that they got involved at the right times.
Wow, Osaka, I believe that's where the game ended too, right there. Osaka has been holding down that spot all game long, and yeah, PSE. Remember, they're trying to finish tonight in first place. They're trying to finish tonight in first place. Last time I looked at the math, they were about 57 points behind. That's the last time I did the math. And if you are correct, they got around 30 points this game. With one more match to go, it is in their court. The ball is in their court to finish tonight in first place. And after this next game, all the teams will have played an even amount of games. Everybody even when it comes to matches played on the overall leaderboards. So we're going to get a nice little indicator on who's at the top, right? Who's at the top and who's at the bottom.
Yeah, that's really going to help Bizarre Esports' case. I've been informed they got 23 kills, which makes it a 35-point game for them. Even if it's not 38, that is still an insane amount of points to get from one game. that kill does not get easier to watch.
So this was the play I was talking about. So PSE, they could have pushed a lot earlier on to take the fight, but instead they waited, they timed it. They recognized SKB were pushing from the back end, and that was when they decided to make the collapse from the opposite entrance of the warehouse. And those big brain plays is why I believe we see PSE doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, we're now going to see, there it is, for 23 kill points, 35 points overall. That's almost double the amount of points that Skullbreaker's got, which is insane. Osaka pulling up the last podium place with 16 points there. And I mean, everybody else just kind of missed out on that one. Everybody else got eliminated by Bizarre so quickly that they couldn't get any points for themselves.
What a game. One more game to go, and ooh, baby.
Wow.
Top 5. The top 5. Your whole team is here. You know, you had one heck of a game here, Twiggy.
Yeah. When you have that many players. And I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure the last player had 3 kills as well. Actually, we can count right now. 8, 7, 15, 20, 23. No, never mind. Those are all the kills, apparently. Oh, wait, no. Obviously, there are only 4 players on a team. I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought the last player was Skullbreakers as well. I'm sorry. They have the same colors in their logo. It's late for me. This is what happens. Anyway...
You would think they have 5 players, right?
Yeah,
With,
exactly.
How many points they got this game.
Absolutely. It does seem like that way, doesn't it? 87 points. They have caught up to Team 999. More kills than them now. I mean, that's a beautiful game from them in every way possible.
And it all happened this last match, too, right? This last match was that turnaround for Bizarre Esports. Not that they needed a turnaround, but, reclaiming that spot. One more game to go. 999, they got taken out really early on here this last game. And, this is what I wanted to see here. The overall leaderboards. Bizarre now 5 points behind. you have to assume, unless they get taken out really early on, unless somebody hot drops them, takes out every single squad mate to give them that 0 points, you have to assume after last game's performance, they are set up. They are looking to finish here and end the halfway mark of the group stages in first place spot.
Yeah, I mean, the way they've looked on Purgatory all throughout this first half of the group stage indicates to me that they should be finishing this one head and shoulders above the rest, actually. Fuego only 5 points away from them. They could definitely outperform them to a degree higher than we're seeing anywhere else on the board at this point. I mean, you know, Team 999, after their amazing start to today, even after that game where they didn't do incredibly well, still in the top 5 now, could make their way up into the top 3, definitely after this last game, depending on how well they do. And they take, actually, never mind, that would take 39 points. That would be pretty tough. I'm not going to lie to you. But they could do it. You never know. I mean, we just saw Pizarro Esports absolutely demolish a whole lobby. So Team 999 could do that as well.
USA Esports not really having the best of Sundays here. This was a team that I mentioned in the pre-show, just based off of their Friday performance. They were just popping off. They're doing so well. Tonight, not really catching any traction when it comes to that. Zundel Esports, another team that we can kind of talk about here just a little bit. 17th overall. We see them almost every single game, right? We see them at least around that mid to late game, but they just haven't really been pulling out all the stops here, getting a bunch of kills to go with those placement points they've been securing here tonight.
Yeah, no, and it's really kind of this is what happens now towards the end of the day. People are starting to get maybe not fatigued, but just kind of like things are slowing down. You've now learnt how each other play, so the people who really benefit off of knowing how the rest of the teams play and how to kind of make rotations happen informed, you know, and not just kind of, you know, being good at rotations in general, just being able to third-party teams very well, get involved in those fights when they need to, based off of what team they're engaging with. Now they're starting to get back up on this one, and we've seen that Pizarro Esports just have that knowledge, that game sense, when they know what they're doing. And that's why they're doing so well now, I think. We'll see if they can take that momentum even further as we move into our last map of the day. It's Purgatory once again, and I really can't wait to see how this shapes up at the end of the day.
Yeah, and another thing that I'm looking forward to is that we have the 4 bottom teams playing right now in our lobby. So What are they going to do? How are they going to show up? This is the last game. After this game, everybody is halfway done with the group stages out here. So let's see. Pop off, perform, give us everything you got here, because next week is going to be a whole different story. And oh, the flight plan, man, all the way down here in the south. Yeah, there's not going to be a ton of options if you are a team that likes to go all the way up there towards that north end of this zone or of this map. So I'm going to expect some early fights here just based off this flight plan.
Yeah, this is going to really disrupt a lot of people's plans, probably. It's going to start a lot of fights where people really don't want them to begin. See USA Esports dropping once again in Central, right next to Brothers YT. Oh, but they're getting involved quickly, Brothers YT. Shots going out immediately onto Exhale, but no kill coming out. They do manage to get round the corner, which gives USA Esports a little bit of time now to prepare for the push from Brothers YT, who, well, maybe telegraphing that a little bit too much, are just pushing straight in towards them, you know, surrounding them maybe a little bit, but in the end, not playing as reservedly as they have been so far.
Yeah, Steve with the scar on the roof, too. So let's see what Steve can do. Steve really needs to clutch it out from that high ground position. Not only clutch it out with the scar, but also be able to relay any type of intel they're able to see from Brothers YT. If they're able to spot out the enemies trying to make that push across the way, you got to immediately relay that to your teammates so that they are going to be prepared. And talk about being prepared. 999 Zundel in a high-tier loot area here near the Forge. 999 last game, I believe, 3 points? Very shocking.
Yeah, I believe
Very shocking based off their 3 booyahs here tonight. And it looks like they're sending 2 out here to get the wide flank.
Yeah, you got
Zundel.
a full wrap going around on this one. You know, Makulu is stuck within this hangar. Maybe sending people around to the back because he can't get anywhere out position-wise himself. We can see a fight going down in Ski Lodge. OG Wipe Gang and Osaka. Osaka have been doing so well towards the latter stages of today. Actually been, mid-tabling throughout the whole of today. OG Wipe Gang hadn't been performing quite as well, but they're still getting involved. They've got one knock, and they're just guarding this one, waiting for them to bleed out. Osaka know they can't push into this. They might just disengage now and go for a res on this one. You can see Team 999 are starting to get involved in... Oh, I'm waiting for the thing to come up at the top of the screen. Sundell not quite finished yet, but they really have done a number on them.
And this goes because of the plane. The plane all the way down here in the south. We're seeing all these teams. That, in combination with it being the last game of the evening, teams are a lot loose here, ready to go, ready to let it rip. And we didn't mention, Twiggy, but the zone, all the way up there in the north, as opposite as you can get from the plane path. So it is going to just spice up this game as we're going to see Brothers YT done and dusted.
Yeah, USA Esports do manage to win out the fight in the end. Went a little haywire towards the end of the fight, but they pulled it back. Got a nice rotation in. Bizarre Esports and Big Trip are already towards the south side of this, and there we go. Sundell finally finished off by Team 999. It did slow down towards the end there, but they managed to finish them off. Everybody has, a small amount of casualty. We got 10 teams left, and only 3.6 members per team. 36 players in the lobby. That's things are thinning out very quickly. Once again, as you said, that low down, very close, tight drop spot with the high zone here is making things very difficult on rotations for the teams.
Yeah, it's gonna slow down some things too, right? Losing two teams this early on. One team that I am going to be giving you, Twiggy, the updates on every single moment has to be PSE. 5 points behind that first place spot. 5 points. They're going to be down here in the south around the edge. I did see Big Drip kind of posturing as if they wanted to take the fight against PSE, but then immediately pulling off that one. And PSE doing the same thing, right? Both teams kind of bouncing off of each other right there, but only for a slight moment. So I'll keep you updated on that one because another big fight here on the cusp of erupting. Club 9D looking to wrap around 999.
Yeah, all the way around. It's a long one. OG Wipe Gang get involved here. Mr. T down.
Mr. T down.
Yeah, unfortunate. That does leave Team 999 quite segmented now. You can see Rasta is down at the bottom of this hill, and Club 9D are right on top of these guys. But
Rasta,
we
right
know
now
how
is
good.
like, they don't see me. They don't see me.
Exactly. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
They
fine.
don't see me. I think it's good. I'm safe. My M60. I'm good to go. My light machine gun. I'm sure Mr. T's like, fire at him. Let it rip. Hey, vengeance. But, yeah, Rasta. So Mr. T definitely, in my opinion here, Twiggy, the most clutch player from 999. The most clutch player. But Rasta is that player from the team that always gets the squad back up.
Yeah.
So if there was like a medic role, just based off of how many times Rasta got the whole team back up in the fight because of those revive stations, Rasta has been the best team player all around because of that fact that I just laid on you.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, Skullbreakers are starting to get pushed on. Palonki. Ooh, Nate's don't quite hit, but IT official have already taken that position. Now you can see Skullbreakers, the rest of the team, are trying to defend that. But they're all over the place. Very difficult to stop him from getting finished. That's difficult now. I mean, yeah, you have to split up sometimes to go get loot. They got caught right as they were at their peak of splitting up. An IT official staying as a group just managed to get in. They'll put a time turner down to loot that body there and pushing towards the rest of the Skullbreaker team now.
IT have been on fire tonight with their team fights. Wouldn't expect any less in the last team fight, the last game of the evening. SKB, last game, definitely pulling it back. Beto, though. Yeah, the 1-2 punch. Trying to finish it off right there. And they are going to be up there on the edge of the north. And I'm pointing this out right now, Twiggy, because Rambox, another squad kind of in the area that IT, they might recognize, they might see them out there in the distance because IT do have the high ground up there on the cliff, so they might be able to spot out Rambox, and it looks like they might have because they're moving right towards them.
Absolutely. Very close now. Oh, getting in a car, but that's going to be broken immediately. IT official are not letting them get away with that one. He's going to have to run on foot. The nades fly in a little too late with that one. They're just firing down. Short-range weapons.
They're running. Look at this, though.
Oh, yeah.
The tunnel vision. The tunnel
no.
vision
Oh,
allowed
no.
Rambox to get the high ground on IT. So is that 1 point? Was it worth it? We'll find out.
I mean, that's taking the fight back to them. IT officials still managing to not take a casualty at this point. Bizarre Esports in the meantime have taken down Big Drip. They will finish out this game. Rambox Gaming immediately get that res back. Wow, that took absolutely no time whatsoever. Now, taking the low ground. I mean, they got pushed off of that immediately by IT official, who somehow managed to take the fight to them whilst taking the fight to the team that they were going in on in the first place. Skullbreaker finished off by Osaka, who I guess they just ran straight into them there. Unfortunate.
The AK, for me, the best sounding weapon in the game, honestly.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that thing sounds good. The AK or the AN-94. So. My favorite weapon, though, Woodpecker. Everybody knows that. The marksman rifle. Everybody knows that. So IT actually able to avoid that cluster, right, that they were in with Rambox up there above them. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Now let's see if they can continue to avoid, because I see Osaka making their way on in from Moat's house. So IT, they might find themselves in a nice little classic Rambox Osaka sandwich here shortly.
See now. IT official move in. Rambox Gaming one down already. Nicely placed headshot. He's well away from the rest of the team. Difficult to defend. Another one goes down. And another one as well. Only one player left standing for Rambox. Manages to get one kill down onto Sanji. No finish though. And they do get finished off there. It's IT official. Take down the full team. Now on 8 kills, and they keep all 4 players alive.
Little heal action out here. So it looks like Osaka going opposite direction. They heard those gunshots and they said, nah, we don't want nothing to do with that. Going the opposite direction. They sent it over there to that east side. They're going to be right beneath Club 9D on the high ground on the little mountain tops right up there towards the north here. Looking around, PSE, little 3-1 split down there on the edge of the west side. Everybody kind of just waiting to see where this next circle takes us here, as we already lost 5 teams this game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of open terrain. It's going to be somewhat quiet here with the amount of teams that we lost already here.
Yeah, this is really all about how people play their rotations now as the new zone comes in. Right on top of Fields, right in the middle almost of this zone, a little to the west. Will land right on top of OG Wipe Gang, but they're already in a fight with Team 999. Who, once again, I mean, they managed to get their whole team back. And I mean, if they really, if they take OG Wipe Gang here, they get a lot of loot, they get a nice position, they get themselves right back into this game. You can see a late kind of a flank coming in from Mr. T and Rasta there, but Makulu has already taken that position now, and if they can hold on to this one, especially against USA, which it seems like they can, 1 down already, 2 down, 3 down, Rasta going ham, keeping their flank safe now. Only 1 player left standing. Can the snipe come through? Oh, it's 1 shot. Not finished yet. They'll come in. The flank gang. Can they finish it? The time turner is doing bits for them, but USA Esports is finally finished off, and it's Team 999 who are now on 8 kills and have a lovely position on this new zone.
I love it. What you said there, the flank gang. Rasta and Mr. T, the flank gang. That was nice. They had a 2-2 split, right? They had 2 right there on the edge playing that gatekeeping role. And then Mr. T and Rasta from behind, just applying that pressure from behind. And the team, 999, just the communication right there on point as they all made that collapse. And they're going to get a nice, solid position down here in the south. And when I say solid position, I'm talking hard cover, baby. So we'll see what they can do. 5 teams to go. Ooh, who's popping? PSC are popping off.
Yeah, once again.
PSC. Last game, what was it? 26 kills? Last game?
Yeah,
PSC?
23 kills last
23?
game.
23?
Oh, wait,
man.
hold on a sec. Kneecapped a little
What are
bit.
they at now? What are they at now?
Oh. Well, they're at 1 less player standing. I think they'll get that res back up, though, but I mean, they're doing incredibly well for themselves once again. I mean, they got that wipe onto IT official. Right down there. Not high ground. We'll give them that. It's a difficult position to work with here, you know, as opposed to Club 9D, who are up on top of this hill. No kills to work with, really. 2 on the board, but they have a lovely position over towards the north of the zone, which nobody else really has the privilege of right now. Bizarre Esports could find themselves stuck between a sandwich of every single team going on here. We can see the fight going on between Team 999 and OG Wipe Gang towards the west there.
Yeah.
Osaka is now engaging with Bizarre Esports. It looks like Club 9D, they've decided to go in towards the two teams that aren't the points leader at the moment.
Yeah, Club 9D definitely playing the zone here after that next shift. And Osaka just straight up sending it downhill right into PSC with 8 kills so far. And Osaka just nowhere to go. They already tossed a couple glue walls to even close that gap, and we saw that next circle. It did not favor either of those teams. So PSC in the gatekeeping position, and 9D breaching the compound here with OG Wipe Gang. And they take them out.
Yeah, I mean, Team 999 took a little too long pushing OG Wipe Gang here, and the kills are getting taken away by Club 9D. Maybe they'll take this opportunity to go in for a wipe against them. And it looks like they will third party. A grenade comes in. I'll knock one of these players. They try and get this res off with a time turner, but the time turner doesn't quite block off that window. They'll jump in, try and go for another knock. It's all close range fights here. We can't exactly see what's going on. There's so much going on in one little space. Club 9D seem to be coming away with the advantage right now, but Team 999 still have players alive. They get 2 more knocks. They push it even further. There's only 1 player left standing for Club 9D, trying to defend his position as best as possible. It's just Joe. There's not much they can do now. Just trying to push out of here. Bizarre Esports are coming down the hill for them. Don't manage to get those reses. It's just 1 player left for Club 9D and Team 999. They pushed all the way through. There's 2 players left standing. OG Wipe Gang still have somebody left. It's 4 teams in this last zone here.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy. 999, they were jealous that they didn't get the invitation to the party that was going down in this compound. And still, all 3 teams that were in this building still managing to survive. But for how long, Fearful? Watch out for these grenades.
Oh my god. Just
Flashes.
blinded everywhere.
Blinded in the corner.
Oh,
Oh, here comes Bizarre Esports on the outskirts
yeah.
now, wrapping around to pretty much seal the deal and get this booyah. They have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, they push in all the way. Team 999 trying to keep them away from what are rightfully their kills at this point. OG Wipe Gang is finished off by Bizarre Esports. Team 999 trying to take the fight back to them, but Adil takes down Toil. Oh, Team 999 are eliminated. Bizarre Esports push in to finish off these kills. It's just 1 player left on Club 9D trying to defend it against all 4 of them. There's not much you can do at this point. In one room, and they just completely melee him to death. It's a Scythe that'll finish it off for Bizarre Esports, who take their 2nd booyah of the day. Their 2nd on Purgatory. They finish it out at the top of their leaderboard.
Oh, man, what a night. I think I saw at least 14 kills, and we know that first place gets you 12 points. Bizarre Esports only needed 5 points. Remember, they only needed 5 points to finish in that first place spot. They said, Twiggy, Dave, relax. We got this. We got you. Man, what a exciting end to the night for Bizarre Esports. And
yeah.
They were definitely able to continue on with that momentum from their insane, I think, record-breaking game last game when we're talking total points-wise, but also a great night from 999. The consistent points they were able to acquire all evening long. 999, if you weren't paying attention before, is definitely a team to keep your eye on as we move into that next half of the group stages.
Yeah. I mean, they've done incredibly well for themselves. Look, if we're talking best improved, Team 999, by far, have done so amazingly from this one. But the thing is, improvements-wise, it's going to be Bizarre Esports that come away with, again, another improvement. They did incredibly day 1, they did incredibly day 2, and they've still done incredibly day 3 of their performance here. They're going to come away with... I'm putting this out there before the scores come up because I know it. There's no way it cannot be true. A record-breaking day that will be well over 100 points for them, and it means that they take away the most points in this first half of the group stage that anybody has in one day by quite a margin as well, if my calculations are correct.
Oh, what a game. So, Twiggy, let me ask you, too. I love asking you these questions, by the way, like the coach hat. Put the coach hat on. On a serious note, right? Because we talk about those top teams. Oh, okay, the coach glasses there. Yeah, perfect. We talk about the top teams a lot, and for a reason, because they're always popping off. They're always getting the spotlight, right? When we're watching from a spectator's point of view, because you're always making these shots, right? But these bottom teams, we have a lot of bottom teams. I believe in Group A, right? We have OG, we have SKB, and then Group D, we also had Brothers YT. These bottom teams, they're still halfway to go. There's still halfway to go for the group stages, right? What do we do? Like, you're the coach, you're a bottom team, you finish half of your group stage games. Where do you start, right? Like, where do you start to try to think and change up moving forward?
Okay, well, I think luckily for these bottom teams, the lower half of this leaderboard is quite tightly packed. I mean, maybe, you're looking at Big Drip who have not performed, well, I mean, have performed very consistently, just not consistently well. They've taken away, maybe 20, 30 points a day every time they have played. So maybe not them, but you're looking at the other teams, OG Wipe Gang, Skullbreakers, who have come away with, decent points every day, who are in the hundreds at this point. Up until somewhere around 12, that's only a 50-point difference for them. So maybe, maybe you can't push for that top 8. Maybe not at this point. But
I don't think so.
I feel like at this point, the top 8 are so consistent now. Everybody has been consistently getting 60, 70, 80, up to 100 points a day, and not even dropping off once. I mean, the lowest points in the top 8 for one day is 44, and that is more points than anybody in the bottom 4 has got on any day. So, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you can definitely make up that point to get into the LCQs. 100%. No team is out of contention for the LCQs, even remotely, right now. So, at this point, play more passive, I would say. Maybe you're not going to make it into that top scorers where you're getting 10 kills a game. You're getting booyahs every day. But maybe you can just get, 10 points a game. Something like that. Get yourself into the point scoring, areas where you're coming maybe 5th, you're coming 6th. You're getting those points for placement. Get maybe a couple of kills here and there. Try and third party. Just play the extra zone. Play it slowly. Try and change things up is what I would recommend to those teams.
That's why I love asking Coach Twiggy right there. I do. I love it. Good advice. Good advice from Coach Twiggy here. And well, here are the scores from the last match here. Bizarre Esports, 15 kills. Last game, 23 kills. 27 points in total. Club 9D bouncing back just a little bit. Team 999 finishing on a high note here tonight. They had a phenomenal day. Most improved team here today. I agree with you 1000%. Here are the kill leaders from this last game, Twiggy.
Yeah, Adiel once again getting well involved. 8 kills for his team. Absolutely beautiful. This time, not the whole team got involved for the whole game. West B does take away 4, but everybody else does take away at least a few points here. Shackle, obviously, Club 9D with their last burst of energy. Didn't quite make it, far into the game, but at the very least, they really did get involved in the kills feed. Look at this, though. 2 teams make it into the triple digits for one day, and those are the top 2 now, points per day out of any team. On the whole leaderboard, so that's absolutely incredibly impressive. This is such a high-scoring day, such a beautiful look into each of these teams, and there it is. Bizarre Esports, after the first half of the group stages, finished top by a lovely 22 points. That's a nice little gap to have.
Beautiful looking leaderboard too. Beautiful looking leaderboard. Bizarre Esports, well deserved. Phenomenal day here. Club 9D. I think Club 9D just maintained, right? They came into tonight, they maintained their placement points here on the overall. But Team 99, 3 booyahs. Yes, please. Definitely shooting up these overall leaderboards. So great night for a couple of these squads. And like Coach Twiggy said, some of these other teams on that right-hand side, we're only halfway done. There's a lot more games to come, a lot more games to go, a lot more opportunities to climb up these leaderboards. And yeah, these top teams, they are popping off, Twiggy. They are doing great, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. So maybe that top 8 isn't the goal, but the goal is to definitely continue to make it to those next rounds.
Yeah, I mean, if you need any inspiration whatsoever, any of these teams in the bottom 12, take a look at Team 999, who, funnily enough, they got 106 points today. They got 106 points in the rest of the competition as well. So 212 points here. They have made their way from what at the end of today would be 20th into 5th in one day. That is, well, an amazing performance, first off. But they've made themselves into the top 8 comfortably after just one day of performance. If Team 999 can do that, I'm not saying they are a terrible team, they shouldn't be able to do that, but if anybody can do it, so can Brothers YT, who have performed very well on day 2. So can Skullbreakers, who have had some brilliant games. So can Laonu, who performed incredibly in Season 1. So can Rambox Gaming, who have got a couple booyahs under their belt.
Yeah.
All of these teams can get involved now. It's really about, how you pick yourself up after today, and how you get involved in the next half of the group stage.
Ooh, over our overall kills right here. 2 players from Bizarre Esports. Are we surprised? I think not. Scott, our main man Scott right there in 2nd place. And I agree with you. And I think we, at least from day 1, day 2 of the entirety of the Free Fire Pro Series group stages, we're starting to see a change in the meta, right? We're starting to see teams recognize that they have this tool in their back pocket that they can utilize. We talked about it all night long. Team 999, one of the best teams to utilize and really keep that tool and take advantage of that tool. I think you know what I'm talking about. The revive system, right? It's such a thing. It's such a big thing to not talk about, right? Because we literally watched Team 999 almost get wiped out multiple times here tonight, but they just kept surviving. And I believe they did so because they had a dedicated kind of insurance policy, is what I'm going to put it. Rasta. All night long. Rasta was always that solo player. When all else fails, Rasta's still alive, trying to run out there and get their team back up. And I'm pointing out Rasta because you can see the difference in average kills. You can't really hold it against Rasta because Rasta was that key player all night long that made sure to play that insurance policy, that made sure to get the team back up if they failed to take the fight in that early to mid game. So the revive system, so crucial here in this group stage.
Yeah, really shows you how important it is to learn the meta, to adapt to the way other teams are playing, and adapt your own gameplay, because they've come in with the 2nd best performance of the whole group stage so far in one day. And it's really all not because they got a ton of kills every game. It's because, they, even when they didn't do well, they managed that, and they were able to kind of, keep their minimum performance quite high with the revive mechanic. And it's incredibly, it's lovely to see the meta changing and evolving, and teams being able to pick up on that quickly, even if you're not an incredibly mechanically gifted team like Bizarre Esports.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And there's a ton more action to be had for the Free Fire Pro Series. That's going to be it from Mustache Dave, from Twiggy. Keep playing Free Fire, and we'll see you next week.